Shane Sleeper is charged with threatening violence. He was arrested yesterday after being let out of jail Tuesday night. Another group of students is now reported to have become ill after a visit to the Shedd Aquarium. AM 560's David Stewart reports a group of kindergartners had the same symptoms as a group of prom-goers.
About 15 kindergarten students from St. Clement's School in Lincoln Park started showing the same norovirus-like symptoms after their April 17th visit to the Shedd Aquarium, as more than 100 Andrew High Schoolers did after their April 27th prom there. Unlike the prom-goers, though, the kindergarten kids didn't eat at the aquarium, and the Shedd has had subsequent catered events, including another prom in the weeks since, with no illnesses reported. City and county health officials are still investigating, but the city has given the Shedd and its caterer a clean bill of health. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Chicago Principals Association President Troy LaRaviere is accusing CPS of altering the public record to cover up illegal denial of special ed services at a Southside school. Speaking yesterday at City Hall, LaRaviere says the district denied those services to Burke Elementary. You may know that LaRaviere is challenging Mayor Rahm Emanuel in the 2019 city mayoral election. Donors are continuing to send funding toward medical expenses of teen victims of a weekend backyard fire pit explosion in Glendale Heights. So far, $135,000 has been raised for the 12 that were injured. Authorities say no adults were home when one of 25 teens at that party poured gasoline onto the fire and severely hurt those who were close to the blast. Governor Bruce Rauner is going to get his term limit proposal on the November ballot. Lawmakers are going to have to hurry. Monday's the deadline for lawmakers to approve the constitutional amendment that would limit lawmakers' time in Springfield. But lawmakers are not due back at the Capitol till Tuesday, so it's unlikely there will be a vote before the deadline. Local VFWs and American Legion posts across the state could soon add video poker machines, even if their city or town does not want them. State Senator Terry Link is pushing a plan through Springfield that would allow local vets organizations to install the machines in bars or halls. Link argues adding the machines could help the groups make up for dwindling membership. Chicago sports, Trace Thompson nailed a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. White Sox topped the Twins 6-5 in Chicago. White Sox played the second of three against the Twins at the rate later today, while the Cubs open up a three-game series with the rival Cardinals tonight at Busch Stadium. Bears revealing the numbers for their 7-player draft class, including first-round pick and inside linebacker Roquan Smith, who will wear number 58. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 507. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole, so why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern decentralized network? Firewalls have new requirements for businesses leveraging SaaS-based applications and public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We're in the cloud generation now, so your firewalls have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
Jimmy John's, Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I want to tell you about a tremendous offer from my friends at Roland's Jewelers. You know, Roland's Jewelers is in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is celebrating their newly designed showroom. They have a grand reopening Friday, May 4th. Now, Roland's is offering huge savings on designer brands like incredible brands, Simon G. Simon G believes everything you wear should reflect who you are. From classic to unique designs, Simon G just captures your own unique style. At Roland's, experience the elegant Simon G boutique featuring beautiful engagement rings, stunning diamond fashion jewelry. I want you to take advantage of huge savings at Roland's re-grand opening sale Friday, May 4th. Hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, free jewelry. It's a night you won't want to miss. I'm a proud customer. I wear a beautiful Shinola watch from Roland's. Mother's Day coming soon. Trust Roland's Jewelry. Downtown Libertyville. Go to RolandsJewelers.com. ROLLANDS. Roland's Jewelers. A family-owned jeweler you can trust.
I'm Dan Proff.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
Today, we want to share with you a chance to show your support for our first responders, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by supporting the 100 Club of Chicago.
Too often, our police officers and first responders are treated like the enemy. They are overworked and underappreciated, and they face incredible scrutiny.
Today, you can be part of the solution, and you can promote your business in the process.
Right now, call 312-363-6680 and purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing at the Bolingbrook Golf Club on Thursday, June 14th for just $1,196. A portion of the proceeds will go to the 100 Club of Chicago, and as a business owner or marketing manager, you will receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 Monday through Sunday between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Just call 312-363-6680 and ask for the Business Benefactor Program. That's 312-363-6680.
Or go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
5:11. And a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good Friday morning, Mike. On the south side of Chicago, as you mentioned, there's an active investigation, and there is a closure of Ashland between 44th and 45th after the law enforcement-involved shooting incident, 45th and Hermitage. Which happened again around 3:30 this morning. Expect heavy police presence in that area for some time. The outbound Stevenson and on the inbound Bishop Ford overnight roadwork is cleared. Traffic is now moving well in those areas. On the inbound Kennedy, it's heavy from 190 to the Fort Canfield due to a crash in the left lane. Drive time 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound fine at 20. Express lanes have opened inbound. Their expressways and tollways are mostly okay. There's still a little overnight work. Outbound Ryan, 87th split in the three right lanes. The on-ramp from 87th is closed. Traffic service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Care Centers or Napa Auto Parts stores, you get a $50 Visa prepaid card by mail when you spend $250 on Napa brakes. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 5/31/18. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. It's from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, and here is our meteorologist, Alex Rabb.
Today, we're mostly cloudy. Then, later on, clouds decrease with a high of 72. Tonight's mainly clear with a low of 55. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy and pleasant with a high of 78. I'm Alex Rabb on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 66 degrees at O'Hare, 67 along the lakefront, and a mild 66 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30 and continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Of course, the revelations that Rudy Giuliani made on Hannity Wednesday night dominated yesterday's news cycle. Is Trump benefiting from the chaos, or did he miss it by that much?
By how much?
You know, it might get smart.
You're right.
How do you like my Don Adams?
It's good.
I've been practicing.
Can you do it? Hit me again. By how much?
Missed it by that much. It's a little bit of Carson in there, too.
Yeah.
Or actually, a little bit of Carcinio in there. Yeah, so it's complicated impersonation. It's complicated business. Ask Rich Little. So is he benefiting, or was the melee yesterday to the president's detriment? Neil Cavuto had a particular take on it on Fox Business, our friend Neil Cavuto. And he suggests that the statements and restatements and lack of acknowledgement about restatements that conflict with previous statements on a range of topics, this Cohen reimbursement for the payment to Stormy Daniels just being the latest, not helping the president, part of Cavuto's closing commentary yesterday.
President Trump is fond of calling out the media on fake news, but is he the one giving them very real ammunition? Maybe not intentionally. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt, Mr. President, and say maybe not deliberately, but consistently, way too consistently. So let me be clear, Mr. President. How can you drain the swamp if you're the one who keeps muddying the waters? You didn't know about that $130,000 payment to a porn star until you did. Said you knew nothing about how your former lawyer, Michael Cohen, handled this until acknowledging today you were the guy behind the retainer payment that took care of this. You insist that money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction. Of that, you're sure. Thing is, not even 24 hours ago, sir, you couldn't recall any of this, and you seem very sure. Now, I'm not saying you're a liar, you're president, you're busy. I'm just having a devil of a time figuring out which news is fake. Let's just say your own words on lots of stuff give me, shall I say, lots of pause.
So I'm not alone.
No, I mean, it's not at all. And Cavuto, hardly a never Trumper, and he closed his commentary with this. See if you agree with this. Beyond the Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen payment, the Trump presidency to date.
None of this makes what you say fake. Just calling out the press for being so a bit of a stretch. You are right to say some of them are out to get you, but oftentimes they're using your own words to bash you. Your base probably might not care, but you should. I guess you've been too busy draining the swamp to ever stop and smell the stink you're creating. That's your doing. That's your stink. Mr. President, that's your swamp.
So does President Trump have some stank on him?
Okay, don't be stanky. 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. His credibility is gone to me because he just for months he looked at everyone and said, I don't know about any payment. I don't know. I mean, for months. This wasn't just, a few times. He's been hammering this home to the American people that, yeah, he still is even denied even having the affair, Dan.
Yes.
And in his defense, she has also denied it, but then, said they had the affair. It's gone back and forth. But I feel bad for Sarah Sanders, who is in the middle. I mean, she got bad information, and the press was, they were hitting her hard yesterday.
The president did talk about monthly retainers in his tweet, and then Rudy Giuliani said that the president only knew about this 10 days to 2 weeks ago. How can you only be aware of something 10 days to 2 weeks ago, but at the same time being in the process of paying monthly retainers that apparently covered this reimbursement to Michael Cohen?
Again, I can't get into the details of the ongoing litigation. I'd refer you back to the president's outside counsel.
Follow up on it. You said on March 7th there was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations. Were you lying to us at the time, or were you in the dark?
The president has denied and continues to deny the underlying claim. And again, I've given the best information I had at the time.
Why can't you just answer yes or no whether you were in the dark? I think it's a fairly simple question whether you just
I think it's a
didn't have the
fairly simple answer that I've given you actually several times now.
Yeah. Actually, a possibility. I'm not saying this is the case, but a possibility to, who's that, Jim Acosta?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
I call him Jimmy.
There are other names for him. He is the possibility, his retainer that he was paying,
right.
Cohen. Well, obviously, since it's been reported for months that he laid out the 130 grand for Stormy Daniels, Trump could then have subsequently retained him to pay down that 130,000 that he paid out of a sense of, oh, you shouldn't have paid $130,000. I'm going to work out a deal where you get that money back by you doing some legal work for me or me having you on retainer for a certain amount. So there's the possibility of rhetorically navigating that question better than Sanders did, but I'm not suggesting what my spin just offered is true either.
Mm-hmm. But is what he did legal? Is it a violation of campaign laws? That's the thing, because everyone was going back and forth yesterday saying, well, it's the timing because it was hush money and that's illegal to use campaign funds, but it's President Trump's own personal money. And isn't that his business, how he spends his own money?
It is, yeah, but the question is not Trump's money, it's Cohen's money, because that would be an in-kind contribution in violation of campaign finance contribution limits. Right, 130 grand. That's more than the $2,500 round numbers that you're allowed to give. So that's the problem. And also, is it a straw contribution? This is what Dinesh D'Souza got, not exactly, but an example of what Dinesh D'Souza got in trouble for. Remember, you make a donation to the campaign, and I'll reimburse you so I don't appear.
Oh, so okay.
You can't do that. Potentially jail time. D'Souza, I mean, he did.
Right.
Yeah, so there's an example. But it's more usually fines, so put him on retainer. So that's not really a debt. He's decided to pay down 130 grand that Cohen outlaid that he says was of his own volition, not in consultation with the president. I don't believe that, but this is what he's saying, and you'd have to prove otherwise. And so now he's out of his own sense of friendship with Cohen paying him back.
Okay.
So my point is to say these ideas you're going to get him on campaign finance violations, like the old getting Capone on tax evasion. I don't see it in what we know to be true at this point.
Okay.
Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, you know what? No one likes a liar, and I got to agree with Amy. But I just want everyone to go back in time. And prior to this payment, he was actually running for president against Hillary Clinton, and he was probably prepping for debates and whatever it takes to win an election. So he probably just told Cohen, "Here, just take care of this matter," and that was it. So what people got to realize is this guy was super, super busy dealing with going up against everybody, the Republicans and the Democrats. So you know what? And another thing a lot of your callers were saying yesterday, I personally don't care what he did 13, 14 years ago in his payment. It actually means nothing. I'm more concerned about nuclear and freeing our prisoners and everything like that, and getting all of those criminals back from Cuba. I wish he would get that done, too. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the call, Ed. John in Elk Grove Village.
Yeah, unfortunately, Trump and his team and people who surround him, they don't think before they speak. And when they speak, sometimes they don't think.
Okay.
Well,
and
it's
and we all do it, but it's gonna, things come back and bite you in the ass. I was on Trump Tower. I was one of the crews in there on Trump Tower. They still owe me $26,000 because they renegotiated the deals as they were doing things.
Oh, well, there's no question about that.
That's what he's famous for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's famous for renegotiating things and not remembering what he renegotiated. I mean, it's just who he is.
Well,
but I'd rather have him in there than the alternative.
Yeah, thanks for the call, John. Well, just on the Trump Tower thing, I mean, remember the Friends and Family program?
Oh, yeah.
For the pre-sale of condos at Trump Tower. And then because it was going so well, he reneged on the Friends and Family program, and he left a lot of people in the lurch. And most of them just took it because what are you going to do? The litigation, outweighs the downside. But there was one 90-year-old woman who had a lot of cash who did sue Trump and took him to task over that. But so I mean, John's right about that. In terms of just the point about thinking before speaking before they think and so forth. Understand, Wall Street Journal reported this. Some staff, legal team, not happy with Giuliani's interview with Hannity. However, The idea that Giuliani just blurted this out, no. It seems fairly clear that Giuliani and Trump and maybe others were involved in the conversation, and they decided to do this. This was a tactic.
Well, he made this huge statement in such a casual manner that even Sean Hannity was surprised that, oh, I didn't know that. And apparently, as you mentioned, I mean, according to CNN and ABC and NBC, the other lawyers on his team did not know that was going to happen.
But
they had just learned about it when he was saying those words. And also Rudy Giuliani.
But it was purposeful.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's why but Rudy Giuliani, he hasn't practiced law in decades. I mean, he was a great prosecutor, 20 years ago?
Well, so what?
So they're saying that he's talking off the cuff a little too much. I mean, some statements are planned, and then some statements he should watch what he's saying.
Some people are saying this. Okay. Chuck and Delavan.
Oh, Chuck.
Hi, how you doing? Chuck from Delvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Conyers guy up there, when he was doing all that, whatever he was doing, the Congress, they have a regular fund just for this. But the president, being that he never got a chance to be in the Congress, he had to make his own fund. Thank you very much.
Thanks. God, Chuck. This is easily solved with a presidential slush fund to deal with claims of sexual harassment and other misconduct. Okay, thank you, Chuck.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
At CVS Pharmacy at Target, we put a little extra heart into everything we do, like actively looking to save you money. Generics, 90-day refills, even rewards. Get a $5 Target coupon for every 10 prescriptions. On your next Target run, stop by CVS Pharmacy. We're the place with the big heart. Not valid on all prescriptions, including those purchased in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Other restrictions apply. See cvs.com/extracare-target or the pharmacy for details. CVS Pharmacy at Target. Health is everything.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
The Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want to take your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more of your money you get to keep instead of sending it to D.C., go to taxcutswork.com now. There's an easy to use.
The power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we'll keep you up to date about ATF agent who was shot in the head a few hours ago. He was working to the newsroom with more on this breaking story. Here's Mike Scott.
There are roads shut down this morning, as Jim Telemonte has been telling us, on Chicago's South Side, all part of this large investigation into an ATF agent shot and in critical. Special Counsel Robert Mueller is requesting 70 blank subpoenas as he prepares to try President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Twitter is urging all users to change their passwords this morning after a glitch caused some to be stored in readable text on its internal computer system. Twitter says the problem has been resolved and there's no indication the passwords were stolen or misused. It's just a precaution. Missouri lawmakers are calling a special session to consider impeachment proceedings against Republican Governor Eric Greitens.
The call of this historic act is for the sole purpose to consider the findings and recommendation of the House committee, including disciplinary actions against Governor Greitens.
Missouri House Speaker Todd Richardson said a special session will begin May 18. Greitens faces a felony charge for allegedly taking and transmitting a picture of a partially naked mistress without her consent and for misusing a charity fundraising list. Walt Disney World ending its long-running Night of Joy Christian music event. According to the Orlando Sentinel, there will be no event this year and none in the future. The resort has no current plans to hold that type of event. The annual event frequently drew several big-name Christian artists and huge crowds. Chicago police are looking for the man who pushed a woman onto a CTA Blue Line track on the northwest side this week. The victim suffered minor injuries. An inmate who was accidentally released from Cook County Jail this week is back in custody. Shane Sleeper is charged with threatening violence at gay bars on Chicago's north side. A man is charged with sexually assaulting a co-worker last month at a restaurant in Vernon Hills. Victor Manuel Martinez Lopez is accused of pinning the woman against a wall and kissing her repeatedly in the eatery in the 1200 block of South Milwaukee Avenue. The suspect was arrested Wednesday at a different job in Highland Park. A rematch of that NCAA Sweet 16 game between Loyola and Nevada set for the fall. Ramblers and Wolfpack scheduled to play November 27 in Chicago in the Mountain West versus Missouri Valley Challenge. Trace Thompson, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. White Sox top the Twins 6-5 here in Chicago. Cubs open up a 3-game set with the rival Cardinals tonight at Busch. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject credit approval, U.S. only. 5:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks the Democrats are scrambling.
This is so crazy. The left is in such a frenzy. The DNC lawsuit suing WikiLeaks and the Trump campaign. Oh, yeah, Russia. Sue Russia, because that'll work. It's nuts. We are in Crazyville.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Quality doors and windows are one of the smartest investments you can make. They improve your home's appearance and save you money on energy bills year-round. Say goodbye to high-pressure sales tactics and enjoy the best window and door experience with Nextdoor and Window. Call now and schedule your free quote, 630-590-1370, or go online to nextdoorandwindow.com. Nextdoor and Window has wood-clad, vinyl, and fiberglass windows and doors. Their staff will help you find exactly what you want. Right now, get 10% off windows and doors with no money down and no payments for 1 year. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote. Choose from 3 showrooms in Chicagoland, Arlington Heights, Burr Ridge, and Naperville. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote and for finance qualifications.
Nextdoor and Window, thousands of options, one perfect
5:36. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eastbound Adams Tollway onto the Kennedy. Eastbound I-90, traffic's jammed from the Tri-State to Canfield, where a crash just cleared out of the way. 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown once you get to the airport. Outbound 23 minutes to the Harlem to pass Canfield. Edens looks good. Eisenhower 2. Stevenson heavy Harlem to Kedzie. Demon to the right. It's 39 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford 17 minutes, 80-94 to merge. South side Ashland is blocked, 44th, 45th. That law enforcement involved shooting in the ongoing investigation. Traffic Service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. Great rates, zero fees, while students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Shower, mostly cloudy today, windy in the AM, then clouds break for afternoon sun and a high of 75. Mainly clear and 55 overnight, and a pleasant day tomorrow, high near 80. Currently 65 at O'Hare. It is 66 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and our friends in the listening audience. So Amy asked me off air, you going to any derby parties tomorrow? And when somebody does that,
no,
it can be one of two things. They can actually be generally inquisitive, like, what do you have going on this weekend? Are you going into any derby parties? Because the Kentucky Derby's tomorrow. Or it can be as a way to tell you what party they're going to. And in this case, it was the latter, wasn't it?
About.
Well, Amy.
I'm sorry, did you ask me something?
You going to a derby party this weekend?
That is funny you should ask, because I'm going to the derby party this weekend at Arlington Park.
Well, the derby party, I would think, would be actually
at
Churchill Downs. Yeah,
but the second, if you can't be there, the second best place to be is Arlington Park, and it is so fun. Now, ask me where my seats are.
Amy, Arlington Park, that's a nice venue.
Yeah.
Are you in a suite, or where are you going to be taking in the race?
I'm going to be in, I think it's called the Governor's Suite, the Owner's Suite. I'm sitting with Duchess Waugh and other dignitaries.
That's Mr. Duchess.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Duchess Waugh. Mm-hmm. And other politicians will be there, stars.
Isn't that nice?
And I picked out my derby hat. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Because, at Arlington Park, everybody dresses up, no matter where you sit, if you sit down low or if you sit up high.
Do like a baseball cap sideways? A little
yeah, right.
Tribute
little
to
fishing hat.
Mount Prospect.
I borrowed Rick from Des Plaines. I borrowed his Cubs hat from 1970. No, this is the hat that I chose. And it's you have to choose the right hat or it doesn't work.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see it. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous because I have a black dress. Isn't that going to be nice? Huh?
You're going to look like Joan Collins from Dynasty in like 1983. But it's a good look. Or maybe
the bigger the
maybe
better.
Maybe more of a Linda Evans because you're blonde.
Linda Evans, yeah.
I
think the bigger the better for derby hat. But it's got to be everything's about the hat.
Give my regards to the Duchess Waugh, Mrs. Duchess Waugh, actually. Big fan of the show.
Good.
Big fan of me.
Oh. Wow.
I'll
just say hello to her and say I work with Dan every day.
Yeah. No,
I'm the Amy part of Dan and Amy.
I met her when I was doing the show at WLS, and she was a big fan of that show. So I don't know if she listens to this show, but she was
I'll
a big
find out.
Fan. Yeah. And you know Dick Duchess Waugh, the patriarch of that empire.
Love him.
He's a World War II hero.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know this. It's an incredible story. He was in the Battle of the Bulge. He was actually zipped up.
In a body bag?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
He was injured, zipped up, and then it was. I mean, not to make light of it, but I
No,
think
but-
enough time has passed, and he's done well. But it was like a Monty Python skit. I'm not dead. I mean, it literally that happened. I mean, so think about the thin line between Duchossois at the Battle of the Bulge and then what he has gone on to do over the intervening 65 years. It's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, another reason why I asked you is because you tend to gamble, or I don't know what you do in your free time. But
I
are there
partake in games of chance from time to time.
Okay, games of chance. Who should I put my money on? Because I always bet just $5.
Uh-huh.
That's it, and I'll bet one race. Or obviously the mother of all races. But who's here? Who's good? I haven't heard a lot of rumblings about.
I am not a handicapper, but I know a couple of guys from Melrose Park who I can connect you with who are.
Okay, well, who do you recommend?
They'll probably fix the race
Super
too, which will help.
Saver, Smarty Jones, California Chrome, Animal Kingdom.
Smarty Jones.
Wait, am I reading?
Are you reading Kentucky
Winners.
Derby winners? Seattle Slew affirmed.
I'm the worst person to bet with you. When I go up to that little booth, I don't know what I know. What trifecta is when you pick 1, 2, and 3, right? The trifecta.
As I said, let me hook you up with my friends from Melrose Park, and we could just skip ahead.
That's really bad.
That way. So here, it is interesting. Some of the names, though. I was looking at the.
Well, what would your Derby horse name be? 312-642-5600. What would yours be? Conservative King? No.
If I was a horse,
If you were a horse, what would your Derby name be? 312-642-5600. It's our turnkey.pro answer.
well, if you're a horse, you don't get to choose.
Well,
so you'd have to be the owner.
Okay, though, if you had a horse that you purchased that was to represent your personality, your persona,
Be a horse with no name.
what would your? No, you'd be. What would you be?
No musical drop for a horse with no name. I mean, that was so beautifully set up by me. Here are the actual. What did you? Are you asking me this like the same way you were asking me what I'm doing for the Derby, so you could just say what your name is?
No. People always ask that. You know.
What would be the name of your
thinking.
horse? Oh, okay. All right. So here are the actual names of horses.
Yes, thank you.
Ferenz Fire.
No, I don't like the name.
Free Drop Billy.
Oh, horrible name.
Promises Fulfilled.
Ooh, that's nice.
Sounds political. Flame Away. Audible.
Oh, Audible?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Okay.
Good Magic.
Mm.
Justify. That's a Bob Baffert. That's a favorite. 3-1.
Justified?
Yeah.
Okay.
Justify my love.
Justify my bet.
Lone Sailor. 50-1. Hofburg. My Boy Jack.
That's an awesome name.
You know what? That's got to be a reference to Kipling.
Yeah,
the
of
Kipling
course.
poem "My Boy Jack" about his son, who was actually killed in World War I. Continuing a war analogy, the Battle of Luz, if I remember. Have you news of my boy Jack? Not this tide. When do you think he'll come back? Not with his blowing in this tide.
Vino Rosso.
Do you want me to come to the Duchossois party to
And help me?
recite prose from Kipling?
That's such a buzz killer, but yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll meet you in the lobby.
That's why
I'll
I'm.
meet you at the main gate.
That's why I don't get a lot of invites to parties. Volta Oro, Enticed, Bravazzo, Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn. I mean, this
Mendelssohn.
is very artistic owners.
Yeah.
With Mendelssohn. It's obviously named after the composer.
Right, Mendelssohn.
Mendelssohn. This is Mendelssohn.
Mendelssohn.
This is incidental music to a Midsummer Night's Dream. This is Mendelssohn.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? So what if I came
Blended citizen.
What if I came to the
Multi-race
party
people.
tomorrow? What if I came to the party tomorrow
Yes.
and I brought a accompanist and I recited Kipling poem to Mendelssohn? Would that?
It's so hot.
Do you
It's so
think,
sexy.
Do you think that would get me in?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. What was your horse name? You were?
Blended citizen.
Hmm.
Mixed race.
Okay.
Combatant. Your horse name would be nonconformist.
That's not an
For
actual
you.
horse
No,
name.
that's
That would
not
be
an
mine.
actual. I don't know. What do you think? Where should I put my money? Should I do a trifecta? Or just say, what do I say when I go to the booth? $5 on winner?
You say,
do I
these
say?
gentlemen from Melrose Park will be placing a bet in my name. That's what you say.
No, really, when you go up to the booth with $5, just to win, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say...
You say justified to win. Just put $5 on the 3-to-1 shot. Just play the favorite.
All right.
At least it's the best odds. You don't have to get into like a Laurel and Hardy routine about what an exacta or a trifecta is with the bet taker.
They always look at me like I'm so pathetic. Like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
First time.
But the hat, they're going to say. But the hat, wow.
With the hat, I'm going to be 6'5", because that thing is huge.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, congratulations that you're invited to the premier Derby party.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. And then the dessert table and anything you want.
All right. Well,
people standing there with towels in the bathroom when you're done washing.
Wow, bathroom attendants. Now you know you've made it. That's big.
Where are you going?
Where am I going?
For a derby.
Well, the USO of Illinois is having a derby party, a little fundraiser.
Do-gooder.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably raising money.
Yeah, we're raising
help
money.
people.
We're raising money to help military families, but don't feel guilty about that.
What hat are you gonna wear?
Mm-hmm. No.
No, you should wear a hat. I have a nice little ditty for you, a little like wire rim hat. That would look nice on you.
I have.
You gonna wear Dolce and Gabbana?
I'm a urbane gentleman.
Oh.
Of course, I have an appropriate Montefino straw hat to wear with my Ben Matlock suit to the USO event. All right? All right. Well, I just want to give listeners a peek into Amy's life, allow you to live vicariously through her and her hat.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
So that Magnum Moon is a good one.
Steve on 88.
Oh, please, what did he text?
Hoof-hearted. I don't know if that's for honor of me or you.
Hoof-hearted?
Jim from Naperville texted in, win or glue. Some sort of motivational name.
That's awesome.
Another one, 630, leaving Illinois.
That would be great. That should be your horse name. Forecast for today, we're going to have a shower. It'll be windy this morning, then clouds breaking for some sun this afternoon, which is nice, a high of 75. Tonight, clear, a low of 55. Tomorrow looks spectacular for any derby party. It's going to be sunny, warm, a high near 80 degrees. And on Sunday, cloudy, breezy, and cooler with spotty showers, a high of 63 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, I know there was a crash on the inbound Kennedy near Cumberland. Is that cleared up yet, Jim Telemonte?
It has, Amy and Dan. Good morning, but there are still delays. First on the eastbound Adams Tollway, getting close to the River Road Toll, still heavy in that area. And then on the inbound Kennedy from Harlem to Lawrence, the crash was actually between Cumberland and Canfield. That's gone, but again, there's still heavy traffic in that area. So looking at 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 23, slow Harlem to Canfield. Eden's is fine. Eisenhower inbound a little heavy east of 17th now. Inbound Stevenson delays start at Harlem. It's 39 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th of Loop. Bishop Ford, for now, just a 2-minute delay approaching the merge. And aside from that, eastbound Adams Tollway approaching Kennedy. Tri-State northbound, a little heavy at the 163rd and 83rd Street toll plazas. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
We have a tragic story happening that's unfolding this morning. A few hours ago, an ATF agent was shot in the head in the back of the Yards neighborhood. He was working with Chicago police in a joint task force, shot in the head at 44th and Marshfield, currently in critical condition at Stroger Hospital. And I'm sure that the 100 Club and the president of the 100 Club, Joe Ahern, will be helping and assisting the family because this is, if he passes away. If this officer, ATF agent, passes away. But that's what they're here. They're here to help those in need during critical times such as this. And it's a group that we've teamed up with again for our partnership for our golf outing. It's called the 100 Club of Chicago Golf Outing. It takes place Thursday, June 14th at Bolingbrook Golf Club. Here's the deal. A foursome is $1,196. With that, you'll have a shotgun start at 7:30 or 2:30 in the afternoon, lunch from 12:30 to 2, and a silent auction. And we have a special business benefactor program. So if you're a business owner, manager, or the person who makes marketing decisions for your company, here's the deal. Purchase that foursome. The proceeds go to the 100 Club of Chicago. As a way of saying thank you, we will give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business on AM 560. The Answer. Maybe you've thought about radio advertising in the past, but this is really the best deal in Chicago radio. It's a $3,000 deal for only $1,196. Here's what you do. Call this number, 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680, and sign up today.
Hey, Radioland, Ken here from Income Store. Did you know making money is like a combination lock? If you know the numbers and the proper order of the numbers, it has to open. The lock doesn't know or care if you're 8 or 80 years old. It has to open. Making money is the same way. When you know the steps and know the right order for the steps, revenue generation has to happen. As we like to say at Income Store, if you know the steps to take and you take the steps, revenue will be created. For close to a decade, we have proved to thousands of households and businesses that adding an additional revenue stream is not magic or luck. Both Forbes and Inc. praise Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to creating revenue for a home or business. If you'd like to see exactly how anyone from a teenager with more time than money to an executive with more money than time can add a revenue stream to their home or business, just open one of the 2 entry doors you'll find at incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big, bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
Let's play Guess That Mineral. What makes clothes cleaner, skin and hair softer, and can even save you money every single day? Here's a bonus hint. It's also delicious. That's right, salt. Adding salt to soften your home's water supply makes appliances run more efficiently, for cleaner clothes and a lower electric bill. Plus, it removes harsh minerals, making skin and hair silky smooth. Get the full scoop on salt-based water softeners at alittlesalt.org.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole, so why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern decentralized network? Firewalls have new requirements for businesses leveraging SaaS-based applications and public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We're in the cloud generation now, so your firewalls have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
50 years ago, something started in Illinois that would change the course of history forever. As the abortion industry began to gain momentum in the state, 4 doctors and 1 attorney recognized the lies it was telling women and founded an organization that would present people with the truth. Illinois Right to Life. They deliver the truth about abortion and the sanctity of life through grassroots advocacy, genuine love and care for men and women in unplanned pregnancies, and education on the beauty and value of all human life, from conception through natural death. Join Illinois Right to Life for their Golden Jubilee celebration on May 18th, along with renowned pro-life comedian and author Mike G. Williams, AM 560's Dan Proft, and Reverend Caesar LaFleur, the executive director of the beloved Community Development Coalition Coalition as they celebrate 50 years of saving lives. Get tickets at IllinoisRightToLife.org/banquet or call 312-422-9300. Seating is limited. More info at IllinoisRightToLife.org. Underwritten by Illinois Right to Life.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Southside backyards, Ashland is closed, 44th to South 45th, as the investigation continues following the law enforcement involved shooting. The eastbound Adams Tollway has a jam approaching River Road Toll. It's heavy starting at the Tri-State and then the Kennedy, as delays Harlem to Lawrence, 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown up on 23. On Eisenhower, delays start at Wolf. It's now 40 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go I-80 to the 163rd Street toll, 87th to the 83rd Street toll. Traffic service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Care Centers or Napa Auto Parts stores, you'll get a $50 Visa prepaid card by mail when you spend $250 on Napa brakes. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Exclusions apply. Offer expires 5/31/18. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
At 5:58, it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Chicago's Morning Answer continues with Dan and Amy after Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Alex Rabb.
Mostly cloudy to start, followed by decreasing clouds later on today, high 72. Tonight's mainly clear with a low 55. Tomorrow's sunny to partly cloudy with a high of 78. Sunday's cloudy with spotty showers, high of 66. I'm Alex Mack on AM 560, The Answer.
64 degrees at O'Hare. The news is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. At 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Authorities are searching for a gunman after an ATF agent was shot on Chicago's South Side, working as a part of a joint federal task force with Chicago police. Chicago police are looking for the man who pushed a woman onto the CTA Blue Line tracks this week on the Northwest Side. An inmate accidentally released from the Cook County Jail this week is back in custody. And Arlington Heights police are searching for a man suspected of trying to lure two girls to follow him this week. White Sox beat the Twins 6-5. Cubs open a set with the rival Cardinals at Busch. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
A federal agent is shot in Chicago. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. He's in critical condition, shot in the head, working undercover. There's a manhunt for the shooter.
Apparently, the ATF agent and Chicago police working together on a mission in the back of the yards neighborhood. We were told it was an undercover mission and that residents in that neighborhood at 3:15 local time heard multiple shots, a lot of gunfire. Now we have an ATF agent in critical condition here at Stroger Hospital.
That's Joni Lum with Fox 32 Chicago. A volcano is erupting in Hawaii. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Nearly 1,500 people have been ordered to evacuate from their homes near the Kilauea volcano after it erupted. A molten lava has spilled onto forest land and paved streets alike.
We have activated the National Guard. We have employees, National Guards persons en route and already on site at the Hawaii Emergency Management Center.
That's Hawaii Governor David Ige. There are no reports of injuries, and nearby community centers have opened as shelters. Chris.
Tanya J. Powers, thank you. One of the Nobel Prizes is just not being handed out this year.
For the first time since 1949, the Nobel Prize in Literature will not be handed out this year. The Swedish Academy, the Council of Authors and Linguists which chooses the winner, is locked in a controversy over allegations of sexual misconduct. A third of its 18 members have resigned. The Academy says it considers it necessary to commit time to recovering public confidence, but it insists it will still award a 2018 prize. to be announced next year at the same time as the 2019 winner. In London, Simon Owen, Fox News.
A two-day round of trade talks in China is over. The U.S. delegation's head is on its way back home now, is led by Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. A Trump administration list of demands includes a reduction in the trade deficit by $200 billion by the end of 2020. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Chief Executive Magazine is out with its annual CEO ranking of the best and worst states to do business. 14th annual. The top 5 states, according to CEOs, drive decision-making on things like business location, expansion. Best 5 states to do business in the United States? In order. Texas, number 1.
Of course, I was going to say that.
I think they've been number 1 each of the 14 years that CEO Magazine has had this ranking. Florida, number 2. The Carolinas in a tie for 3, north and south. And
Illinois. Indiana?
Yes.
Am I right?
Indiana, number 5. Indiana, once the butt of Illinois' jokes, well, how the butt has turned, to massacre a phrase. Indiana, number 5, according to CEOs, best state in the U.S. to do business. The worst 5 states.
Oh, wait, let me guess. New Jersey?
Coming in at number 47. Yeah.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
California?
Coming in at number 50. Worst state in the nation to do business.
49, I'm going to have to go with Illinois.
No.
We're not?
New York.
Nueva York, huh? Really? Then 48, Illinois?
Yes.
Okay.
46, Connecticut. 45, Massachusetts. California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Illinois are the worst 5.
All states run by Democrats, right? Well, we have a Republican governor, but he leans left.
Does he?
He's a progressive Republican. That's what I've called him that to my friends.
Big government Republicans, to the extent there are any in those states, and socialists. Turns out to be bad for business. Who would have thunk it? Some of the CEOs, just the some color, obiter dicta, as it were, about these rankings. Jeff Vinnick, who's a very prominent real estate investor in the Tampa Bay area. Florida is a good place to do business with relatively low regulations and low cost of labor, a good university system, and low cost of living with no income taxes. Similar is said. Texas, CEO of Ultravision International, a LED lighting manufacturer. Texas has no corporate or personal state tax, and Texas gives us very highly skilled workers because of the number of great colleges we have. One of the other things that's interesting about this this ranking and the stories that accompany it is a little bit of a discussion about where talented people in their 20s and 30s are locating. The idea, as a piece written up by Joel Cocken, the idea that if you're a big company or even a company that's looking to expand and have access to a deep and diverse talent pool, labor pool, the idea, well, you have to move close to a big urban center like Chicago or L.A. or New York. No, not true. In point of fact, what we're finding is a migration of talented people in their 20s and particularly 30s to some of these other smaller states like the Carolinas or like in Indiana that have a good quality of life at a lower price point, and that is making it that much more attractive for businesses to locate there, in addition to for entrepreneurs to start businesses there. And so you have this force multiplier with talent moving there that just encourages more businesses to move there and away from urban centers like, say, Chicago. Very interesting. Now, I just note this because, of course, people on the left in this state suggest that nobody is leaving because of public policy. Right? Nobody's leaving because of politics. And, yeah, nobody's leaving because, like, Republican, Democrat. I'm a Republican. I want to live. They're leaving because of the policy implications of the political ruling class comprised of both the Republicans and Democrats. That's the argument. Illinois, are we getting it? No. No. Does anybody in office pay attention to this? No. And why should they? Do the voters in the state force them to? No, they don't. And so the discussion in Illinois is twofold this week, as yet another ranking comes out with a lot of rich information about different paths different states are taking. Concurrent to this, Mike Madigan released a statement for public consumption, which is rare, and he did it through social media, which I don't think he even knew existed until this week.
I think we'll have a very healthy discussion over the next couple of months. And I think it'll be very helpful to the people of Illinois and the voters of Illinois in terms of their electoral decision on the method of taxation. So taxation can be fair and it can be not fair, one or the other. And I think the discussion about a progressive tax is designed to make the taxation system more fair. And I think in the end, the majority of Illinoisans will agree with that.
So you support that, correct?
I support a progressive income tax.
Do you have any levels in mind in terms of...
No, I don't.
Yeah. Graduated state income tax is where we're going under Governor Pritzker with Democrats in charge of the General Assembly. And you're going to be bombarded with this idea, and it's already starting, that here's what's going to happen. 98% of Illinois families will receive tax relief, income tax relief, while the top 2%, you know, those millionaires and billionaires we're supposed to despise, are going to pay more of the freight. Okay. This is something that Democrats have been saying for eternity, and the reason they do is because it's Class envy politics is somewhat popular, unfortunately, because you have a lot of facile or infantile thinkers, really, out there, lack of thinkers. And so they're going to prosecute this case because it's politically popular, and, you know, the big government Republicans in the state play boogeyman politics with Madigan, and Madigan plays boogeyman politics with Republicans using Trump and using class warfare, continuing to project this image of the Democrat Party that no longer exists. That's the party of the, you know, working man and woman. Of course, it's not. But just on the graduated state income tax.
Mm-hmm.
So in California, they have one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Household incomes of $52,000 and up pay more than 9% in state income tax in California. So $52,000 household income is just below the median household income in this state. And with the largest structural income tax increase in Illinois history passed by Rauner and the Democrats last year, that went to 4.75%. 4.95%. So you're talking about nearly where this goes ultimately, you're talking about nearly a doubling, because they're talking about this generating, the Democrats are, $2 billion in new revenue. Of course, it will not generate that much because people with means also have the means to leave, and they have proven they will do so, and that will continue, and it will increase in pace. But even if it hit the number that they're projecting through their typical static analysis, $2 billion a year, we have $10 billion in unpaid bills. $2 billion a year, we have $130 billion in unfunded pension liabilities. $2 billion a year is a drop in the bucket, which is why they'll graduate it, and then they're going to increase the brackets. It's the reverse of what they do. Well, actually, it's sort of parallel to what they do with minimum wage. If you raise the minimum wage, then it bumps up everybody else. I'm not, I was making $3 more than minimum wage. Now you have to pay me, $3 more than the new minimum wage. So it bumps up everybody in the pay rungs. And so that's the same thing you do. Get the graduated tax through the door, selling it as 98% will obtain relief. The 2% will get fleeced. But ultimately, everybody gets fleeced because this is all about financing government you can't finance, no matter how much money you try to extract from people who have options in terms of where they choose to domicile.
I watched my neighbor pack up her stuff yesterday. It was awful. She's lived in the neighborhood for 52 years.
Property taxes.
Property taxes have forced her to move to Wisconsin. Guess how much she's going to be paying in property
Which, by
taxes?
the way, is not a low-tax state.
No, it's not.
That's the really telling thing about Illinois.
But she's been priced out of her own neighborhood that she grew up in, that she called home. And her property taxes are going to be $2,000 a year. Granted, they're downsizing, but still, that's compared to Chicago, which was, I didn't want to ask her, but I'm sure it was around $11,000 or $12,000.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
And that's money when you're on when you have a set income. When you just have, your only income is your Social Security check and maybe some retirement savings.
Well, and also
she doesn't know how long she's going to live, so it's like, you know what, I've got to do it.
But also think about this: when you save $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year in property taxes, it's not just that money; it's the opportunity cost you're no longer paying for what you can do with that money. It's the home value that's not being decimated. It's putting that money into an IRA or a trading account and making a return on that money, which when you compound that return, you put it in CDs, you compound that return over, some period of time. You're talking about real money that impacts the way people can live their lives, what they can leave to their children, and the like. And that's just what the political ruling class, some of them understand it. They don't care. They don't care. What they care about is, of course, their fiefdom and maintaining it at all costs. And if they need to liquidate you in the process, not a problem. Not a problem. And here's what's going on in Illinois otherwise. The efforts to do things to shift the paradigm here. There's a bill introduced by State Reps Jeannie Ives and Alan Skillicorn would bring transparency to public school debt. In other words, they're borrowing. In Florida, they have 67 school districts statewide.
Okay.
In Illinois, we have 845.
And you have to pay all those superintendents for those 845 school districts.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't make, they make all six figures pretty much?
Pretty much.
800, what?
Yeah, 845. And Florida, 67 school districts. In Illinois, we have 73 public school districts that have more debt than is allowed by the state. So you have
CPS a part of that?
You have debt limits, and then when these school districts reach their debt limits, they just petition the state to waive the cap, and that's what's done. So this bill would have banned school districts from continually paying off debt with more debt. In other words, paying off your mortgage with a credit card, which is what school districts are doing. School districts in Illinois have amassed $21 billion in debt. So think about that with your property taxes. The primary beneficiary of your property taxes, what? School districts. The driver of your property taxes, your local school district. It's it's not only the salaries and the pensions, it's this borrowing, and frankly, borrowing above stated cap levels that ultimately will be what? Financed by property taxes. That means they will continue to go up at a 45-degree angle. They might start to go up at a 90-degree angle. $21 billion in debt. Wow. So this legislation bans school districts from continuing to pay off debt with more debt, force them to adhere to the school district debt limits, and require school finance officials to accurately report to taxpayers how much they're borrowing. So in other words, on your property tax bill, you would get a line item to inform you of what your school district is borrowing, because that is telling you what you're going to be paying off. Who pays off the debt? Who pays off the borrowing? The debt fairy? No, you do. Property taxpayers do. Taxpayers do. This legislation got 13 votes in the House. 13 votes. 13. Okay. There are 51 Republicans. Okay? 13 votes. 77 voted against. And who was the main opponent? Teachers Union. Teachers Union. Yeah. Of course. 77 to 13 went this legislation, with a couple dozen not voting. 77 to 13. If you want to understand Illinois or look at microcosms that you can share, this is one of them. CPS, just going back to, since you raised it, has used debt to fund operations for the past 15 years, amassing more than $7 billion in bonded debt to go along with its $12 billion in pension debt. So you have school district debt that's at $21 billion statewide. You have CPS between unfunded pension liabilities and bond debt at $20 billion by itself. You are going to be liquidated. Here's where we're at in Illinois. And we're seeing this too, Harvey with the laying off of police officers and firefighters. North Chicago is the second domino to fall. North Chicago reporting, wirepoints.com reporting on it this week. Pension funding levels for fire and police that are around 30%. Ooh. Layoffs are coming. And by the way, nearly 60% of municipalities in this state are not making their fully required pension contributions. This is everywhere. So here's where we're at. With the debt that's been amassed and the unwillingness of Republicans and Democrats, outside of a dozen Republicans in the House, to do anything about it. Your job, your pension, your home. You will not get to keep all three if you stay in Illinois, unless something changes with the political leadership and the policy making. Job, pension, home. You do not get to keep all three. You get to keep one, maybe two. And it really depends on where you work. But you won't keep all three. Think about that. Forget the rankings. Forget comparisons. Forget numbers so big they're hard to imagine. The bad ideas that are in the offing with Governor Pritzker and Democrats. Your job, your pension, your home. You will not get to keep all three in Illinois. So which would you choose? Because you're going to have to make a choice. Sophie's choice, as it were. Which one goes first? Which one are you going to walk away from first? Or would be least harmful if you got pushed away from it? Because that's what's going to happen. Does that bring it home? Is that something that you can share with your neighbors and friends and those in your circles of influence to snap them out of their stupor?
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, why a woman gained 10 pounds every week. But first, here's your forecast. Shower, mostly cloudy, windy this morning, then clouds breaking for some sun. By this afternoon, a high of 75 degrees. Your weekend looks really good. Tomorrow's going to be spectacular. Sunny, pleasant, a high of 80. sure the golf course will be packed. And on Sunday, cloudy, breezy, some spotty showers, not as warm, a high only of 63 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Back of the yards on the south side, Ashland remains closed, 44th south of 45th after a law enforcement-involved shooting at 45th Hermitage. Heavy police presence in that area as the investigation continues. Eden's inbound. Traffic's a little congested approaching the junction. It's clear outbound. Kennedy inbound. Slow until you get to Nagel, but the delays actually start on the eastbound Adams Tollway at the Tri-State. There was an earlier crash at Canfield. 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 24. Ada and Search. The Eisenhower has delays starting at Wolf Road. It is 41 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to the loop. Mild delays on I-57 at the Bishop Ford. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Stevenson to 47th, from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Northwest Indiana is all clear. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Homeowners often say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room getting wet, do you? Then why do you want to worry about your basement? Permaseal believes that your basement should be dry all the time, no matter how hard it rains. That's right, you can have a permanently dry basement. Give Permaseal a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate and transferable warranty, so you can rest assured you're getting the best value. You know, back in 1979, Roy Spencer started Permaseal, and it's still a local Chicagoland business whose purpose is to make the world a better place, one basement or crawl space at a time. Your basement is already dry some of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I want to tell you about a tremendous offer from my friends at Roland's Jewelers. You know, Roland's Jewelers is in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is celebrating their newly designed showroom. They have a grand reopening Friday, May 4th. Now, Roland's is offering huge savings on designer brands like incredible brands, Simon G. Simon G believes everything you wear should reflect who you are. From classic to unique designs, Simon G just captures your own unique style. At Roland's, experience the elegant Simon G boutique featuring beautiful engagement rings, stunning diamond fashion jewelry. I want you to take advantage of huge savings at Roland's re-grand opening sale Friday, May 4th. Hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, free jewelry. It's a night you won't want to miss. I'm a proud customer. I wear a beautiful Shinola watch from Roland's. Mother's Day coming soon. Trust Roland's Jewelry, downtown Libertyville. Go to RolandsJewelers.com, ROLLANDS, Roland's Jewelers. a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560. The Answer.
So did you hear the latest about Charlie Rose? He might be the next Bill Cosby. 27 new accusers have come forward saying that he sexually harassed them. One lady said he put his tongue down her throat at a Christmas party up against a fax machine. I mean, it's just such bad behavior. But the big sticky wicket is that 3 news managers were made aware. So these women went to their bosses and said, hey, you know, he did this to me at the party. He grabbed me here. He did this, and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now,
cover for Charlie, the big star.
Yeah, they didn't want to, ruffle any feathers. So now at CBS yesterday hired a firm to investigate this. So, and also Bill Cosby's wife. Ooh, you think this lady isn't bitter? She compared what's happening to her husband. She compared him to Emmett Till. And
Emmett Till?
Emmett Till. She calls it mob justice, not real justice. She called it a tragedy. She said that Andrea Constead is a liar. Andrea Constead, who I think looks like a young John McEnroe.
It's very handsome.
Yeah, very handsome. And also, this is the thing. She wants a criminal investigation into the district attorney and his cohorts.
There were some troubling aspects of that prosecution with witnesses that were allowed to testify that probably wouldn't ordinarily be allowed to testify in a criminal trial, but
because they did it in the first trial, but in the second trial, they had 5 of his accusers testifying against him.
Yeah, and that's prejudicial. But the point is, there's no question about Cosby. My favorite story for the last week is all of these colleges that conferred honorary degrees rushing to take them away. Oh, Notre Dame. Oh, the great Notre Dame. Yale, Northwestern. Oh, so I'm sorry. If he had been acquitted, you wouldn't have taken away the honorary degree?
The accusations weren't enough. He had to be charged. And then also last night while you were sleeping, the Oscars Academy expelled not only Bill Cosby, but Roman Polanski as well.
Oh, boy. Wow.
So the hits
Roman
keep coming.
Only 30 years in the making on Polanski. Wow. Congratulations.
Way to drag your feet on that one.
Moral leadership from Yale and Northwestern and Notre Dame. What a joke. What an absolute joke.
Hey, if you're a business owner, if you make the marketing decisions for your company, pay attention. We want to tell you about our upcoming golf outing. It's the 100 Club of Chicago golf outing taking place on Thursday, June 14th. We have a 7:30 a.m. shotgun start and a 2:30 p.m. afternoon shotgun start. It's $1,196, so it's about $300 a golfer. And the proceeds go to the 100 Club of Chicago. And as a way of saying thank you, we will give you 25 one-minute commercials. If you've thought about, maybe I want to dabble in advertising, this is the time to do it. Call this number, 312-363-6680. Call if you have any questions. You can talk to Anjanette. She will take your phone call, 312-363-6680, and we'll see you out on the golf course on Thursday, June 14th in Bolingbrook. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A New Jersey principal earns the Mr. Hanky Principal of the Year award at 6:36.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Clouds, 64 degrees. We should see sunshine later today. Hawaii's National Guard activated. Evacuations ordered as lava flows from the most active volcano on the Big Island. Flows from the Kilauea volcano have already swept through at least one neighborhood. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders is insisting President Trump did not mislead reporters when he said last month that he didn't know about hush money his attorney paid a porn actress, Stormy Daniels.
This was information that the president didn't know at the time, but eventually learned.
Her Thursday briefing came hours after the president acknowledged repaying attorney Michael Cohen. President Trump is scheduled to speak at the annual NRA convention today in Dallas. Horse racing fans from all over the country gearing up for the 144th annual Kentucky Derby set for this Saturday. Racing analyst Ed DeRosa.
Actually the longest-running sporting event in the United States at 144 years and counting with this year. So, the history is a part of it.
The Derby is the most wagered upon race of the year. Authorities continue searching for a gunman after an ATF agent was shot on Chicago's South Side. Happened early this morning while the agent was working undercover as part of a joint federal investigation with the Chicago Police Task Force. It's reported to be in critical condition at Stroger Hospital. Chicago is experiencing a spike in gun violence this week. The Tribune reporting nearly 40 were shot Monday to Wednesday, including a 4-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy riding a CTA bus. Arlington Heights police are searching for the man suspected of trying to lure 2 girls to follow him. Authorities say the victims, ages 9 and 10, were walking home from Olive Mary Stitt Elementary School on April 13. Chicago sports. White Sox topped the Twins in comeback fashion, 6-5 in Chicago. The Cubs will open up a 3-game series with the rival Cardinals tonight at Busch. The news a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains it's okay to disagree sometimes.
See, Reagan was wise. The person who agrees with you 80% of the time is an ally, not a 20% traitor. That is good. That's how you have to think. The only people that agree with me all the time are me.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Your local 1-hour heating and air conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-HOUR.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
It is 6:35 and a check of your morning roads comes from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It's now very heavy on the Eisenhower Expressway with inbound delays from North Avenue to the Tri-State, Wolf to Harlem, and Cicero to the Burn Circle. It's an hour and 2 minutes from 390 to downtown, 46 minutes from Manheim. Outbound, just 30 minutes out to 390. Eden's 23 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 27. Down Stevenson, you have delays of starting around First Avenue. It is a 50-minute drive, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. The crash at State Street, just not far off Lakeshore Drive. Farther south, there's southbound delays, Caton Farm before Black Road with a reported collision. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 19. Northbound Tri-State gummed up now. From Archer to 47th and from Reagan, Philwood to North Avenue. Traffic is the service of Lowe's. Pro customers, Lowe's, save 5% every day. use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm James Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Shower possible this morning. Windy as well, and we're seeing that. Southwest winds at 19 miles an hour right now. Then we expect clouds to break for sun in the middle of the day, leading to a nice afternoon and a high of 75. Currently 63 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Progress continues with North Korea. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. James O'Keefe and his Project Veritas are at it again. Their target this time, teachers and teachers' unions, specifically teachers' union bosses. Perfect segue from our discussion about the debt that's being amassed by school districts in Illinois. And
how many we have? 800. How many school
845 school districts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Compared to Florida, who has 65 school districts.
And 5 million more people?
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
School age.
Most school districts of any state in the nation. Most units of government, any state in the nation. Worst governed state in the nation. More government.
Isn't that the number one job in Illinois is government jobs? Or is it up there? I mean,
yes, we have more government jobs than we do manufacturing jobs, for example.
Okay.
Most government and worst governed. See if you can make that connection. Think about that. Share that brain teaser with your friends. Illinois has the most government, and it's the worst governed. Back to teachers' unions and Veritas.
Yes, what happened?
This is in Jersey. Union City Education Association, teachers union, President Kathleen Valencia, undercover video recorded at her office. She offers a couple of things. One, she talks about how a teacher who had sex with a student was not charged, sex with a teenage girl, not charged. So the work that they do to protect teachers, including teachers who, commit felonies. And then she responds to a made-up case by this undercover reporter about an alleged incident involving a teacher striking a student. Listen to this.
I just called you. Hurry, just clean up my desk.
Meet Kathleen Valencia, a history teacher and the president of the Union City Education Association. Within minutes of meeting our journalist, Ms. Valencia boasted about how her office protected a teacher who had sex with a teenage student.
This file right here is from a teacher who had sex with a student. Okay? They're not going to jail. You know what this whole file is about? It's about whether or not they get to keep their pension. Okay. Sex with a teenage girl. Oh, yeah. Is he going to jail? No. How come? Because the child's not pressing charges. Oh. They have no proof it was sex.
The Union City Education Association is aware that one of their teachers had sex with an underage student and nothing is being done except to protect the teacher. Now, the identity of this teacher obviously needs to be revealed. Here is the email and the phone number for Ms. Valencia and the NJEA headquarters. We need you in the audience to take action. Call them. Ask for the name of this teacher.
Earlier, our undercover journalist suggested a teacher she knew had hit a student and left him bloodied.
When did this happen?
It was about 2 weeks ago.
I've heard nothing.
Okay. There's a little bit of blood because he was like, oh my God, you hurt me. And he was looking at his hand and he was like,
Kid's fine. Kid's not hurt. Okay. Kid got a scratch. Your brother's fine. It was 2 weeks ago. Nothing happened. There's no video. It was in the classroom. I'm being as brutally honest with you as I can. If you are afraid of a middle school child who called you a and spit on you and advanced towards you, you are in the wrong profession. He's going to give the kid a 65, right? He's not going to fail the kid?
No,
he's not going to fail the kid.
No.
He's going to get that kid out of his classroom and move on fresh for September.
How about that? The teachers' unions, as was attributed to Albert Schenker, former teachers' union boss of Lohr, as soon as the kids start paying union dues, we'll start representing the interests of kids. Teachers' union, you think the teachers' union, despite all of their protestations about their interests being kids, when you see them revealed in an honest moment they don't know is going to be captured on video, undercover video, they protect their members at all costs. Members that have sex with children, members that are alleged to have struck a student, that's what they do. That's the real interest. And since the teachers' unions control K through 12 education, the system is set up for the benefit of their members, the adults, not the kids. It's not saying teachers are bad, and I'm not going to do all of the qualifications that is customarily have to be done to say how everybody likes teachers. Of course they do. And most teachers are great teachers. But the bad ones, you cannot get out of the system. It takes longer. I mean, there's been cases. It takes longer to get a teacher who was convicted of child abuse out of a system in California than it did to build the Golden Gate Bridge, for gosh sakes.
Well,
that's not an
teacher should have been in
exaggeration.
jail. No, I know, but the teacher. You think we don't live this? I mean, it's Chicago public schools. It's
I know.
darn near impossible. But but Troy LaRaviere, he did a good job. I mean, he knew he took heat from the union, but he got rid of 2 teachers that needed to be gone.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you should vote for him for mayor.
30,000 teachers in Chicago, and there's been studies after studies that's like, 0.3% of teachers are ever dismissed for cause. Really?
Even after they molest somebody.
Beat
somebody up.
Performance related or behavior related, or some combination of the two. I mean, do you really think that that's representative? I mean, the normal attrition rates or dismissal rates in the private sector obviously are exponentially larger than that for the same reasons. Doesn't happen. Why? Because there's the union to run interference, to make the cost prohibitively high to go through the process to dismiss a teacher. And it's the school district's fault to some extent, too. The insulation that's provided to teachers in the collective bargaining agreements to tenure and other matters. Yeah, it's all about intellectual and academic freedom, right? That's the tenure protection that teachers enjoy that no other profession does. Come on. No, it's not. And you understand, one bad teacher, just one, out of all the good teachers, and this was documented nicely in Davis Guggenheim's Waiting for Superman documentary. One bad teacher, Stanford research. One bad teacher can retard the intellectual growth of her students by as much as a school year. So just everybody going through Mrs. Smith's 6th grade class, and Mrs. Smith is an incompetent teacher or worse, you're regressing their intellectual development by a year.
Did you ever have a bad teacher?
No, I went to private school.
The
Catholic
look
school.
of disdain. Oh.
You kidding me?
Oh.
Bad teachers at St. Michael's or Bennett? I don't think so.
You
know why?
We had a teacher that was on the way out who used to sleep during class, and we learned nothing.
Well, but
we taught ourselves son. I mean, we had to do the homework, and we would just use that time to do our work.
Yeah, but look, I'm bragging or whatever, but I mean, really, the reason there were no bad teachers at St. Michael's or Bennett, not that this doesn't happen, but when it does happen, they're gone.
Right.
That's why.
Bye.
If you're not going to be on the program to educate children and to, in the case of Catholic education, advance the catechism and the values education that's provided, that's the hallmark, then you're gone. That's how it works in the real world. And this is how it works in this dystopian world of K through 12 education we've allowed. She's talking, sex with a student and physical violence against a student. And what do you hear Kathleen Valencia talking about? In the one case, bragging about how they protected the pension of the teacher who had sex with the student. And in the fictional case, essentially saying how we're going to spin this and how we're going to move that kid along for the protection of the teacher. Pretty sick stuff. I mean, I guess. To me it is, but what do I know? Since we're in New Jersey, how about this one? Kenilworth Public School Superintendent Thomas Dragmalini.
Okay. Dragmalini, hey!
Yeah. He
has a bit of a problem.
Well, he has been named the Mr. Hankey Superintendent of the Year in New Jersey because he is alleged to have consistently
pooped.
Okay.
On a high school track. He saw an open field and went for it. But it was so bad because they were wondering who the pooper was. So they set up a surveillance camera. And lo and behold, it's the pooper intendant. I mean, how uncomfortable would that conversation be?
Yeah, the pooper intendant.
It's the highest person at this district. He is 42-year-old Thomas, as you mentioned, Tagamini, but he's been charged with lewdness, littering, and defecating in public. He's still getting paid, though, by the way. He's still a paid leave of absence.
They got to investigate it. They're waiting for samples to come back from Quantico. Make sure it's his.
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, small and brown, he comes from you. Sit on the toilet, here he comes, squeezing between your festive buns.
Enjoy that with your breakfast. What else is this story?
Unbelievable.
Yates said,
he's got to be mentally, something's wrong with this man if he thinks that that's okay. He's been doing it for 2 months, dropping trowel on the track.
Well, my dog Hayek likes to go in the same spot too.
But he's a dog.
He sniffs around and he says, "Oh, this is a comfortable spot. This is where I normally go."
Stop the superintendent. Yeah. Circling around, circle.
Yeah.
Drop.
Yeah. Gets up on his hind legs.
And then he kicks the grass
gives
when he's done.
Gives the Larry Craig wide stance. Yeah.
And he didn't even clean up after himself. They have dog bags for a reason.
You need to get an assistant superintendent to walk him at lunch.
The pooper intendant.
Yeah.
Seriously, if this guy doesn't lose his job, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Leave. I'm getting paid to poop.
Yeah.
Wait, where's he going to go now? He's been outed.
This is not consistent with the school's values. I want you to know. His salary is $147,000 a year.
He's never going to get a job again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was raised by a pack of wolves.
His Twitter profile, which was taken down yesterday, as you could imagine, also mentioned that he's a professor at Rutgers University.
They're in the Big Ten.
You better, I'd have somebody go out and inspect that track at Rutgers. He was previously employed as a part-time lecturer, but does not currently work at Rutgers University, said a university spokesman.
Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably get that job back. I'm probably going to start this left culture we live in is probably going to start embracing public pooping because it's his freedom of expression.
Yeah. He's got a disability. He's got a condition. Yates said that education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. He was wrong, apparently. It is the filling of a pail with, your feces.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The latest economic reports and a surprise drop in a key U.S. mortgage interest rate. The new VW CEO promises a more ethical culture. Those stories next.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor.
Wondering how you can make a difference with your cell phone? Check out Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company. Patriot's mission is to provide a portion of their profits to conservative causes. You get the same great nationwide service as Big Mobile, transparent pricing, competitive plans, easy switching, discounts for active military, veterans, and first responders. All you need to know is their address, patriotmobile.com. That's patriotmobile.com. Patriot Mobile, built on conservative principles.
Today, the Labor Department releasing employment data for the month of April, and Berkshire Hathaway reporting quarterly financial results after the market closes. The key long-term U.S. mortgage interest rate fell slightly this week after a steady rise for most of last month. That rise pushed the rate to its highest level in more than 4 years. The spring buying season is upon us. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average interest rate on 30-year fixed-rate mortgages slipped slightly last week. Volkswagen's new CEO vows to build a more ethical culture after the company's diesel emissions scandal. Herbert Diess also outlined for shareholders a new 6-part structure aimed at streamlining decision-making at Volkswagen. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking. And he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Someday, someone you love will ask for help. And although Lake County Right to Life is not a crisis center, it is an educational and political organization involved in educating the public about current life issues and legislations. They take an active part in both the educational and lobbying aspects of the Right to Life movement. They formed the Lake County PAC to actively work in helping elect local Lake County candidates who are pro-life, pro-family legislators. These people support life-affirming legislation. Please help the cause. A crisis program center saves lives one at a time. Legislation saves thousands of lives. Lake County Right to Life supports women, mothers and fathers, unborn babies, families, and the elderly. Good public policy is supposed to protect the most vulnerable and does not impose on a taxpayer to pay for the lesser good, namely abortion. That takes everybody working together. For donations or information, visit lcrtl.org. That's lcrtl.org.
I manage a construction site. And the other morning, we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know. Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
My daughter started school, and I find myself worrying if she is getting home safe while I'm still at work. I wish I could check up on her.
Alarm Detection Systems offers remote control of your security system from your phone. Get text or video alerts when someone's at your door. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Hi, I'm Todd Pals, owner of Homewood Bat Company, a top-quality baseball bat made right here in the Chicagoland area. Homewood Bat Company is all about using the best in materials and craftsmanship to create a truly remarkable baseball bat. I've been a client of Precision Payroll for a number of years, and when I started the Homewood Bat Company, I wanted them on my team. From working with me when I had 1,200 employees at another company, and now with less than 50, their service has been exceptional and their value is unrivaled. You want more runs in the game? Give Homewood Bat Company a look. You need a home run for your business? Precision Payroll should be the next call you make.
Thank you, Todd. It is so cool to see you make Americana. Precision Payroll would like to go to bat for you. Call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or on the web at precisionpayroll.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, it really was. We got a text. Larry Lujak had animal stories. You have poop stories. It's going to be okay, Lil Amy. No, I would say Larry Lujak and Lil Tommy had animal stories, and we have people acting like animals stories. Oh,
Yeah.
that's our feature.
Where is he going to go now? Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer
is Trump precariously close to running afoul of the law with his reimbursement of his attorney, Michael Cohen. We'll discuss at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and check on that breaking story. An ATF agent shot in the head around 3:15 this morning. Here's Mike Scott with the latest.
Chicago police are working that investigation with local authorities into a federal agent being shot. A top deputy to Kim Fox abruptly leaves. We'll have that developing story. CPD apparently raided the wrong South Side home. We'll get a family's reaction. Cubs are at the Cardinals while Trace Thompson rips a walk-off home run. So White Sox top the Twins. A shower possible this morning. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. A river of lava is heading toward homes in Hawaii. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News, the Kilauea volcano is erupting on Hawaii's Big Island. About 1,500 people are ordered to leave their homes. Governor Daniel Ige has activated the National Guard to help with evacuations and security.
We do know that there were cracks on Mohala Street, and they've seen ash and lava, but no injuries at this point.
The eruption comes after days of small earthquakes in the area. An ATF agent is in critical condition in Chicago, shot in the head. There's a manhunt for the shooter.
They had their task force out here. We don't know exactly what that mission was, but we do know the ATF agent was standing on the street when he was shot once in the head. Chicago police, we also were told one of their officers was taken to the hospital just to be checked out for observation. And Chicago Fire Department brought out their ladder truck so the ATF can access rooftops polygraphs to look for any evidence in this situation.
Joni Lum with Fox 32 Chicago. The United States government's issued a formal complaint to China's over the use of lasers against U.S. military pilots in Africa.
China denies its forces targeted U.S. military aircraft with high-powered lasers near its military base in Djibouti. But Pentagon spokesperson Dana White says the U.S. is sure Chinese nationals are responsible for the attack that injured 2 U.S. airmen.
This activity poses a threat to our airmen. We have formally demarched the Chinese government.
White says the Pentagon sought the formal complaint because of the injuries and the growing number of incidents. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
President Trump tweets, NBC News is wrong again. The network retracted a story claiming the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, was wiretapped in the weeks before raids on his home, office, and hotel room last month. NBC reported later investigators were logging phone numbers but not listening in. Fox News confirms that operation. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Clouds and sunshine, 63 degrees, but watch that wind this morning. Out of the southwest, 19 gusting to 25 miles an hour. 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Police say a federal agent has been shot and critically wounded in the city of Chicago in the back of the Yards neighborhood, working on an investigation with local authorities. Chicago Police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi says that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives agent was working with Chicago officers at the time of the shooting around 3:15 this morning on the south side. Guglielmi says federal authorities will release more information soon. Emails have been sent out seeking comment from all involved. Chicago police have responded. An ATF spokesman says they will again have more information later. No arrests have been reported. The office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is now without its top deputy. Chicago Tribune was first to report that First Assistant State's Attorney Eric Sussman abruptly left his position this week. He had been Fox's number 2 since she took the office in December of 2016. Sussman says he'll take the summer to consider his next career move. A family will likely file a lawsuit after a group of Chicago police officers raided their Southside home this week by mistake. A lawyer for the family says this type of thing is not uncommon.
By no means do I think it's intentional, but I do think there's a very cavalier attitude when you're dealing with some marginalized communities, black communities, poor communities, that it's okay.
During the raid, the doors were kicked in. 2 teenage brothers handcuffed and interrogated in their Woodlawn neighborhood home. Donors are continuing to send funding toward the medical expenses of teen victims of a weekend backyard fire pit explosion in Glendale Heights. So far, $135,000 has been raised for the 12 that were severely hurt Saturday night at a home on Marcy Court. Authorities say one of the 25 teens at that party poured gasoline into the fire and was severely hurt as well when the blast took place. Trace Thompson nailed a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. A game winner for the White Sox, topping the Twins 6-5, taking Addison Reed deep. White Sox play the second of 3 against the Twins at the rate later on today, while the Cubs open up a 3-game series with the rival Cardinals tonight at Busch. The news service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day. You can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says we will not see the end of the attacks on Trump.
It just is so corrupt. It is such a double standard, and it is so obnoxious on so many different levels, but it's never going to go away because the mission, when you really look at it, has been to never let Trump get elected, and then from the day he was elected to undermine Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Amy Jacobson here. Imagine what it's like to be the spouse of a first responder. Every day you send your loved one out into the world not knowing if he or she will come home safely. And if they don't come home safely, how would you support your family? Well, that's the mission of the 100 Club of Chicago, to provide for the families of fallen first responders. And we are so proud to be partnering with the 100 Club of Chicago this year for our annual golf outing coming up on Thursday, June 14th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. And today you can purchase a foursome and help promote your business. Just call 312-363-6680 and purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing for just $1,196. Now, a portion of the proceeds will go to the 100 Club of Chicago. And as a business owner or marketing manager, you will receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560, Monday through Sunday, between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Call 312-363-6680 and ask for the Business Benefactor Program, or go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the Eisenhower inbound, it is jammed from North Avenue most of the way to First Avenue after a crash and police activity. It's an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown, 54 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 55 minutes to 390 with a jam from Laramie to First. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 22 as well. Kennedy, 46 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 25 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose, 32 to the airport. About Stevenson, delays are really heavy from Harlem to the Ryan. An hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 40 minutes. On the Ryan, it's 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the Verge. Bishop Ford, 29. Southbound Lakeshore Drive now tight, Belmont, Fullerton. Northbound Tri-State delays, 95th to the 83rd Street Toll. From the Stevenson to Ogden and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Go to Reagan Tollway sluggish, 22nd to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial a little heavy approaching the Reagan Tollway. Other tollways are good. Northwest Indiana looks great. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Alexander Rabb.
Today, we're mostly cloudy. Then, later on, clouds decrease with a high of 72. Tonight's mainly clear with a low of 55. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy and pleasant with a high of 78. I'm Alex Rabb on AM 560, The Answer.
63 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Neil Cavuto is not an ever-Trumper. Very sensible guy. He's been a advocate for many of Trump's policies. But yesterday, at the end of his broadcast, he offered one of his customary commentaries. And he had some challenging words for the president in light of the revelations on Wednesday night by Rudy Giuliani as to what the president had previously said about the Stormy Daniels payment and the relationship between Cohen and what Rudy Giuliani said about it on Wednesday. Here's Cavuto.
President Trump is fond of calling out the media on fake news, but is he the one giving them very real ammunition? Maybe not intentionally. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt, Mr. President, and say maybe not deliberately, but consistently, way too consistently. So let me be clear, Mr. President. How can you drain the swamp if you're the one who keeps muddying the waters? You didn't know about that $130,000 payment to a porn star until you did. Said you knew nothing about how your former lawyer, Michael Cohen, handled this until acknowledging today you were the guy behind the retainer payment that took care of this. You insist that money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction. Of that, you're sure. Thing is, not even 24 hours ago, sir, you couldn't recall any of this, and you seem very sure. Now, I'm not saying you're a liar, you're president, you're busy. I'm just having a devil of a time figuring out which news is fake. Let's just say your own words on lots of stuff give me, shall I say, lots of pause.
And Cavuto goes on to suggest, it's one thing if this was an isolated incident, but it just never ends.
Even your friends say these inconsistencies don't make you look good or do anything to help advance your policies, many of which are very good, or the prospects for peace with North Korea. That is remarkably good. All this stuff you keep blurting out, remarkably bad and remarkably bad timing. It is not that these exaggerations and omissions and misstatements are now and then. More like now and then something else, always something else.
And so the question, can Trump drain the swamp if he's sinking in his own?
None of this makes what you say fake. Just calling out the press for being so a bit of a stretch. You are right to say some of them are out to get you, but oftentimes they're using your own words to bash you. Your base probably might not care, but you should. I guess you've been too busy draining the swamp to ever stop and smell the stink you're creating. That's your doing. That's your stink. Mr. President, that's your swamp.
Ooh. And then fades lights. Fade to black.
Is Cavuto right? Can Trump drain the swamp if he's drowning in his own, of his own making? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
The only point of contention, my concern, we know what he did. I don't care if he's denied it so many times. He's denied knowing that Michael Cohen paid off Stormy Daniels. But just come clean now, honestly, because your back's almost up against the wall. Because here's the thing. The payment, I believe, was motivated by the 2016 election. It was motivated to hush up Stormy Daniels so that he could win the election. Does that make it a campaign finance violation? I mean,
your belief that he did that doesn't make it a campaign finance violation. That would have to be proven.
Well, isn't timing everything? I mean, just 16 days before the election? Because the affair happened in 2006. We're talking 10 years later. They had plenty of time to pay her off, to hush her up. And they choose just 16 days before the election. And it was a huge disclosure that was made in such a casual way. It was kind of like slipped out. It was planned, I think, obviously by Rudy Giuliani and others. But I don't have a good feeling about this. I mean, only in this age, we're talking about President Trump possibly getting impeached and possibly winning a Nobel Peace Prize in the same week.
Not in literature.
No. We'll get to that story later.
Well, in terms of the reporting on this, we got problems again. MSNBC had to do a big on-air correction about their Michael Cohen story, suggesting that the feds had tapped Michael Cohen's phones. That's not the case. No. They got a pen register warrant, which allows investigators to obtain information about calls placed to and from a particular phone, such as phone numbers and phone call length. So it's it's narrowly tailored is the point. So the tactic that Trump and Giuliani decided to take with the admission, I think, was to, as I said earlier this week, I think in part is to make sure that they don't let Cohen twist in the wind and give him less incentive, perhaps, to roll on Trump to say things that are true that could be hurtful or things that aren't true that could be hurtful as the means to save his own skin. that, is something that you have to factor in, too. There are just a lot of unanswered questions and questions we won't know the answers to until this plays out. So I think we have a ways to go before it becomes clear exactly why Trump and his legal team, and specifically Trump, who seems to revel in this chaos, are making the choices that they're making.
He needs to change the story. He needs to meet with Kim Jong-un next week. Or, he is going to the NRA conference today in Dallas, but that, something that, how you have to change the story. Maybe we can focus on job numbers. Maybe we can, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it.
Well,
and it's a mess that he created because he had an affair in the first place, and then sometimes a cover-up is worse than the lie.
Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
But there's a lot of parallel tracks running with respect to the story. You've got a story out about Mueller now focusing in on Roger Stone and his relationship with Rick Gates as yet another avenue opened in this investigation. You've got Mark Penn, of all people, former Hillary Clinton strategist, writing a piece in The Hill saying something similar to what I said yesterday about Rod Rosenstein. And this guy's not above the law. In fact, that's the headline of the title of Mark Penn's column. Sort of hand-slapping some of Rosenstein's political posturing. So it's interesting how long this will last. I don't know. You need to continue to generate new information if you want to give air to this story. So peppering Sarah Sanders with questions and comparisons to what Trump said previously and what Rudy Giuliani said on Wednesday night, you can only ask and get answered so many times. You're going to have to come up with more.
Well, that's everyone's saying that the White House staff was upset and other lawyers on his team were upset because they didn't know about this information. So it was a surprise to them.
Well, the Wall Street Journal reporting makes it pretty clear that some were surprised, but others were apprised that this was a discussion. This was a tactic that emanated from a discussion, and maybe not everybody was informed, or people were not clear that the decision was to green light what Giuliani did. But it was orchestrated. It was purposeful. It was not like an excited utterance by Rudy on Hannity's show. That's fairly clear. Margot in Burr Ridge, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I'm a little upset when I hear people call this an affair, and I just heard Amy call this an affair. Trump had a one-night business deal with this woman, Daniels. By all accounts, she was paid. The business deal, the contract was fulfilled. Then she decided that wasn't enough. She wanted more. She was paid again, just like a classic blackmailer. Then that wasn't enough, so now she wants more again. To me, this whole, it's like a tempest in a teacup. It's between Trump and his wife. If you're not in the marriage, it's not your business. She has been paid twice.
Yeah, Margaret, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think prostitution is just a business deal, and do you care if your public officials engage in prostitution?
No, I don't.
You don't care?
You don't care.
I do not care.
Okay.
It is the oldest profession in the world. Men are going to do it. Women are going to want the money. She's just very good at it because she has no morals. She has no business sense at all. I hope she gets no more business. She doesn't deserve it.
Oh, she's getting
not
business.
a good prostitute.
Okay, thanks for the call, Margot.
Well, all right. Rate your prostitutes, 312-642-5600.
She didn't honor her end, as it were.
Oh, Scott.
Scott on the West
Oh,
Side.
Scott, we miss you. How are you?
I'm well, thanks for taking my call. Hi, Dan and Amy. Yes, it was a business deal, and Trump wasn't a public official when the transaction occurred. This is just another segment in the saga of impeach Trump, and in a week, in 2 weeks, it will be something else. It's just an ongoing thing, and it's going to be like this his entire term. And I don't care what he did. I don't care that he paid money to her. She came out 11 days before the election threatening him, and that's why they decided to pay her money again, to keep her quiet right before the election, to make her go away.
But, Scott, let me ask you this. What about what Cavuto had to say, and does he have a point about Trump creating a swamp that prevents him from draining the one he was sent to drain?
No, I don't think so. The swamp that Trump is creating, I could care less about it. It's not the same, and it wouldn't be if it wasn't Trump, if it wasn't for the anti-Trump and for the left, nobody would even know about any of these things.
All right, thanks, Scott.
But if the House flips, then there will definitely be an impeachment process, I think, against President Trump.
Well, I mean, it could be an impeachment trap for the Democrats. I mean, the whole thing could be an impeachment trap, not just talking about it in the run-up to 2018 and overplaying their hand, but if they pursue it, thinking about 2020 and trying to retake the White House or hold on to the House if they are able to take it in November. So it's not without pitfalls for the Democrats, too, at least at this stage. Jeff in Arlington Heights.
Hey, Dan and Amy. So, Bruce Jenner, our greatest Olympic hero of the 1970s, is now Caitlyn Jenner and is marrying another transgender. I mean, and we're going to get, all wrapped up in what the president is doing in his bedroom. I mean, it's kind of silly. That cat, that horse has left the barn, don't you think?
Okay, thanks for the call,
I mean,
Jeff.
character doesn't matter anymore?
Character doesn't matter?
Telling the truth doesn't matter?
The easiest...
his credibility, in my mind, is shot.
The Illinois Republican Party, this is the MO of the Illinois Republican Party that people are expressing. Well, at least Jeff just did. If there's a controversy about personal conduct or character, here's what you do. Surrender, and then the controversy's over. Just surrender to the other side. Just agree with the other side. Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner or an Olympian or some athlete is the standard that we are going to apply to the President of the United States, the leader of the free world. Whatever an Olympian does or doesn't do, or whatever the worst conduct is performed by some high-profile athlete or entertainer, then we turn around and say, well, if Bruce Jenner does it, then it's okay for the president to do it. The logic escapes me, but hear more and more these days. Tom in Deer Park.
Good morning. My comment and question to both you guys, because I know you're both experts. Cavuto's comments are commonsensical, and anybody on any side of the spectrum ought to be making them, but they don't come from that particular network. And it just what stood out to me, because they're very much of an echo chamber for the president's favor, that he would step out like that. And I was just wondering if either one of you or both could touch on the fact, could there maybe be a crack in Fox's ultra-Trumpian support?
Yeah, I mean, I think, thanks for the call, Tom. I think you're overstating the Fox thing. Is it, by comparison to CNN and MSNBC and the other options, is it going to be more Trump, more sympathetic to Trump? Are there Trump cheerleaders on Fox? Sure. And then are there people that separate Trump the policymaker from Trump the person and make comments, as Cavuto did, that when Trump's personal or business dealings and his handlings of those dealings interfere with policy making and a lot of policies that are otherwise worthy of support, is that problematic? It is. I don't know. I mean, I don't see, this is Fox Business, by the way, Cavuto, not Fox News, technically. But I see a number of people that are willing to separate the president from the policy making, willing to criticize the president or elevate criticism of the president on things that are complicated in terms of generating conservative support. So the whole kind of Fox News echo chamber, yeah, there are cheerleaders there, no question. There are people that no matter what Trump does, they're going to find a way to defend him. And then there are others who will not, and Cavuto is one of them. So it's much more diverse than what you get on the other cable news channels, I'll say that. Mike in Crown Point.
Morning, guys. I think everybody here is missing the big point of this. First of all, if Trump was not running for president and this woman broke a confidentiality agreement, there wouldn't be any settling. Trump would take her to court and sue her for violation of her agreement.
He's doing it anyway.
That's the only reason this happened to begin with. Second of all, you're all assuming that it did happen. If you keep assuming this, people will be coming out of the woodwork every month claiming this stuff. Where do you draw the line? Who's assuming 90% will be nonsense. They're just trying to make money off of it.
Assuming what happened? We're assuming what happened? That he had an affair?
You're assuming there was an affair and everything else to begin with. Trump denies it. It's he said, she said. Why does she automatically get assume that this happened?
Well, thanks for the call, Mike.
Where's your...
No, I was.
I mean,
I wasn't in the bedroom. No,
yeah, she did retell the story with vivid details about.
Yeah, so it can still be fabricated. And she's also said there was no affair before she decided she wanted more money and said there was an affair.
Well, there are pictures of them together. I mean, it's not as if they don't know each other.
That's not evidence of an affair, is it?
No, but
no, it's not. But there is Trump's prior conduct and admitted prior conduct and bragging on Howard Stern show and everywhere else about what a swordsman he was and so on and so forth. And so there is that. Is that evidence beyond a reasonable doubt? No. Is this a court of law? No. It's a court of public opinion. So no, I don't know. But I do know that this has not been handled particularly well. I do know that.
I could agree with you on that.
Phil in Itasca.
Good morning, guys. My first comment is what I originally said I was calling about, which is he's not going to change. It's who he is. Second of all, the Margot woman, I believe it was, yes, it was an affair. It may have been just one prostitute one time, but that's still cheating on your wife. That's an affair.
Is that really?
Like it or not.
Thanks for the comment. Is that I'm not sure that is anymore.
I don't know.
One little prostitute and then you call that cheating? Is that because I think the standards are changing. I don't know where the standards are anymore, but boy, I don't know, Phil. That sounds like an antiquated, old fuddy-duddy notion of marital fidelity.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I want to tell you about a tremendous offer from my friends at Roland's Jewelers. You know, Roland's Jewelers is in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is celebrating their newly designed showroom. They have a grand reopening Friday, May 4th. Now, Roland's is offering huge savings on designer brands like incredible brands, Simon G. Simon G believes everything you wear should reflect who you are, from classic to unique designs. Simon G just captures your own unique style. At Roland's, experience the elegant Simon G boutique featuring beautiful engagement rings, stunning diamond fashion jewelry. I want you to take advantage of huge savings at Roland's re-grand opening sale Friday, May 4th. Hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, free jewelry. It's a night you won't want to miss. I'm a proud customer. I wear a beautiful Shinola watch from Roland's. Mother's Day coming soon. Trust Roland's Jewelry. Downtown Libertyville. Go to RolandsJewelers.com. ROLLANDS. Roland's Jewelers. A family-owned jeweler you can trust.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Mike Braun. Politics shouldn't be a career. We need folks with real-world experience who get the job done and come back home. I've always been a conservative Republican, and I'm running because President Trump paved the way. Together, we'll build the wall, defend our values, and end bad trade deals for American workers. And the only person I'll owe anything to is you. I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
I'm Mike Braun. Politics shouldn't be a career. We need folks with real-world experience who get the job done and come back home. I've always been a conservative Republican, and I'm running because President Trump paved the way. Together, we'll build the wall, defend our values, and end bad trade deals for American workers. And the only person I'll owe anything to is you. I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, you want to be part of this. It is our annual 100 Club of Chicago golf outing, our second annual, actually. It takes place on Thursday, June 14th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Foursomes are $1,196. Whoa. You may say that's a lot of money. No, well, here's the deal. The proceeds go to the 100 Club of Chicago. Also, you can become a business benefactor. You purchase the foursome. If you're an owner of a business or the marketing person for your company, here's the deal. We will give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business. I could voice the commercials. Dan could. Joe Walsh could. You can voice them yourself. This is valued at more than $3,000 in advertising. Yours for only $1,196. Plus, you get a free day of golf. Plus, it benefits the 100 Club of Chicago. Here's what you do. Call this number, 312-363-6680. You're not going to want to miss out on this golf tournament. It is a lot of fun. 312-363-6680 is the number to call. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump's not helping us on college campuses. We'll do our campus beat segment. University of Texas treating masculinity as a mental health issue at 7:37.
And later, no Nobel Prize for Literature. It's been postponed. We'll tell you why. It has something to do with that three-letter word that starts with an S. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
63 degrees, clouds and sun, southwest winds at 19. But the National Weather Service just sent us an email. There's a strong low-pressure center quickly exiting the area. So for a brief time, they expect wind gusts to top 50 miles an hour in the Chicago area. Strongest winds will extend through 9 a.m., especially those traveling in high-profile vehicles like trucks and RVs need to use caution this morning. Hawaii's National Guard is activated. Evacuations are forcing several from their homes as lava flows continue from the most active volcano on the Big Island. The Nobel Prize in Literature being postponed for the first time since World War II because of a sexual misconduct scandal inside the Swedish Academy. It involves a string of claims against the husband of an Academy member who resigned over the scandal. Missouri lawmakers will call a special session, the first in its history, to consider impeachment proceedings against Republican Governor Eric Greitens.
The call of this historic act is for the sole purpose to consider the findings and recommendation of the House Committee, including disciplinary actions against Governor Greitens.
Missouri House Speaker Todd Richardson says they recently issued a report that accused Greitens of campaign finance offenses. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett getting ready to host the annual Berkshire Hathaway shareholders event this weekend. This is a rapidly developing story and interesting. Yankees and Red Sox will meet in London in June for 2 ball games next year. They'll play at the Olympic Stadium in the first regular season Major League Baseball games ever held in Europe. If you're scoring, Boston will be the home team for both games. Here in Chicago this morning, police say a federal agent has been shot and critically wounded while working on an investigation with local authorities. Chicago police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi says in a tweet the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives agent was working with Chicago officers at the time of that shooting around 3:15 this morning on the city's south side. White Sox topped the Twins 6-5 in Chicago. The Cubs getting set for a 3-game series with their rival, the Cardinals, tonight in St. Louis. The news is a service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple, so you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, and mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees a threat to democracy, and it's not the president.
There is so much damaging to the American body politic by the anti-Trump left in this country. They keep screaming he is a threat to democracy. It's all nonsense.
You can't point to a thing that makes him a threat to democracy.
The threat to democracy in the United States, like everywhere, is the left.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the shoot point blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about shoot point blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. You mentioned those high winds. They're a problem already, especially to the north. In Antioch, there are wires down affecting 173 west of Lake Avenue, and in Grays Lake, there's a tree down 83 north of Peters. Keep an eye on that, but be especially careful to the north. On the inbound Eisenhower, it's very heavy. St. Charles, most of the way now to the Burns Circle. An earlier crash at First Avenue is gone. It's an hour from 390 to downtown, outbound 48 minutes. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 27. Kennedy, 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 39. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound heavy Balmoral to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound very heavy, 95th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Traffic service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day. You can meet every deadline. Staples, Pro Time. Traffic answers when you need them. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Well, let's review that, Jim, and thank you for reminding folks about that brief period of gusty winds this morning. Winds right now out of the southwest at 21. They'll hit 50 miles an hour, and the strongest winds will hit the area through 9 a.m. So please be careful driving out there this morning. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast comes from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Clouds will break for sun this afternoon, a high of 75, clear and 55 overnight, currently 63. Next news is at 8, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chambers630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
They got the beat, the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
Dan and Amy, and we'll get to campus speed. We got a little delay on that because we've got some calls I want to take about Trump and what? Oh, all right, we'll get to Kevin from
I just
Northfield.
read something on the screen. That's funny.
That and also too, people saying, kind of one of the things you hear often in these controversies in which Trump is the center. I still take him over Hillary. Think where we would be if Hillary Clinton was the president of the United States. And
we wouldn't have Gorsuch as a Supreme Court justice.
No, I don't think so.
We wouldn't have more money in our paychecks every 2 weeks. Do you like my soothing voice?
It's very.
We'd have Bill Clinton as the first lady. Ooh, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep going. Mendelssohn to accompany this.
We wouldn't be on the brink of denuclearization of North Korea had it been not for Donald Trump. First he ridiculed, now he's going to be loving. He's going on a mancation with Kim Jong-un. What else has Trump accomplished? President Trump.
Okay. And the good news is we don't need to conceive of what it would be like with Hillary because she hasn't gone away. She continues to do these conferences. She was at the Shared Value Summit.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have shared values?
One of the things that hurt Hillary, it's sure the Comey stuff and Sure, the Clinton Foundation stuff and, her general criminality. Yes, those all...
The FBI investigation that was a matter.
That was all difficulties, but there was something else.
You may be the only presidential candidate since World War II that actually had to stand up and say, I am a capitalist. And you did. Did it hurt you?
Probably. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to know, but I mean, if you're in the Iowa caucuses and 41% of Democrats are socialists or self-described socialists, and I'm asked, "Are you a capitalist?" and I say yes, but with appropriate regulation and appropriate accountability, that probably gets lost in the, oh my gosh, she's a capitalist.
I mean, it's a rather remarkable statement, actually. She's not a capitalist. She's a corporatist, rent-seeking criminal. But setting that aside for a second, so in the 21st century, a socialist is just a American Democrat in a hurry, just as a communist is just a socialist in a hurry. But isn't that a remarkable statement about the Democrat Party? Oh, yeah. Being a self-described capitalist hurt me.
Yeah.
And she mentioned when 40% of Iowa caucus goers identify as a socialist. And so tell me again where the common ground is. This is the Democrat Party is a European socialist party at its base and its foundation in the 21st century. And there's no two ways about it. And you just had your party's nominee say as much. That is remarkable, and it presents a great opportunity for real contrast between socialists and Republicans if they could resist the temptation to fall in with the socialists when it comes to spending. Mike in Aurora, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Dan, Dan and Amy, how are you? I just wanted to say, don't lose faith in Trump voters as far as they're overlooking his past behavior. As an evangelical, I just wanted to tell you, it's wrong, and we know it's wrong, but we pray for him. We want the best for him. Mm-hmm. And to the point with Neil Cavuto, I would say this. Trump has been taken out of context so many times, whether it be on a campaign trail talking about the Hispanics, Mexicans, rapes, and murders, and when he talked about the illegals and some of them, and then at Charlottesville when they took it out of context and tried to accuse him of being a front man for white supremacists.
Right.
Yeah. That makes us dig in deeper. And so I could understand why people say they don't care. So the news media is a gift that keeps giving to those of us who know it's his actions and what he's doing is unbelievably great.
All right. Thanks for the call, Mike. I mean, it's what Tony Perkins said.
Statement.
It's what, Tony Perkins, Chairman of the Research Council, said in his support for Trump during the campaign. It was never about shared values. It's about my interests and my religious liberty interests in particular. And, oh, by the way, to Mike's point, yesterday at the Rose Garden, National Day of Prayer, signed an executive order creating a new faith initiative tasked with working on religious liberties issues across federal agencies, including the military, by the way, where religious liberties have been arguably infringed upon, at least certain religious belief systems like Christianity. So this is something, again, in terms of trying to distinguish between what would be happening under President Clinton as opposed to what's happening under President Trump, whether he is a paragon of moral virtue or not. He's a means to policy ends, and a lot of those policies are very positive, including for people of faith. There's no question about that. Brian in Aurora.
Hello, it's Brian.
Yeah, Brian, you're on.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point. I don't get all exercised about all this stuff about Trump. I have a picture of Hillary at my refrigerator.
Wow.
Every time something comes up about Trump, I just look at that picture and think, all is right with the world.
And it keeps you away from snacking between meals, too. Thanks for the call, right. Brian. Appreciate it. Dan in Palos Park.
Hey, good morning. You really almost took me out of my game with that Hillary clip. I mean, I just can't even believe she said that. But, it's hard to believe. It's hard not to believe in conspiracies when you have these kind of stories going on. I mean, everyone knew that Donald Trump was a playboy, so it makes him easy target. And then you have this porn star who says she has a non-sexual affair. I mean, I really don't care what happened, but the man's campaigning 3 states in a day, and his people say, you know what, this could affect 1 or 2% of the vote, just pay her off. He pays her off. Later, Trump finds out about it. He's like, oh, I'll pay you back. I mean, why can't that be what happened, you know?
Well, because the payment was probably, hypothetically speaking, motivated by the 2016 election. 16 days before, we voted, she was paid off.
Yeah.
To
yes,
quiet
exactly.
her.
So that yeah, exactly. Because it's a lie. It could be slander, and it could affect 2% of the vote, and it was already a close race. So why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you pay that extra little $130,000 so that you could not damage your chance for becoming president, which would have hurt America? I mean,
I don't think Americans would have cared.
It was a patriotic move to make that payment. That's what I think.
Honestly, I don't think it would have changed anybody's mind. I mean, the Access Hollywood tape had already come out. We already knew that, obviously with his first 2 marriages, it didn't really work out right because he has a propensity for women, So, honestly, do you think it would have mattered, Dan, if it came out that he slept with a porn star?
No, I mean,
10 years ago. I agree though that it's his business what he does with his money and what he does with his sex life, but
exhausting.
Yeah.
Kevin in Northfield.
Amy, we love you, but I'm going to challenge you on the issue of excellence.
Okay.
What I'm speaking about is, as a shakedown artist, Amy, we have to say that Stormy Daniels was excellent. And Amy, I remember when Edward James Olmos hit on you.
Yes, he did.
He's a big Hollywood actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's a member of the Academy. You didn't get anything for that.
I didn't want anything.
She got to make out with him. That's what.
And then he let me go once I realized that this is creepy and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Not like
there was a shakedown possibility, Amy. Come on,
I'm not going to play that. I don't want to have a Me Too moment. I could have many Me Too moments, but that's
that wasn't a Me Too moment.
No, it wasn't a Me Too moment. It was a I'm in a Ramada Inn in South Tucson.
You were more into it than he was. Admit it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'll just say I
you
did
couldn't
not
keep
see
your
it
hands
coming.
off him.
I didn't see it coming, and then when I realized it was happening, I just went, "Oh boy, I've got to go home now." Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing heroic about that. It's just a funny story now.
I'm sorry, Admiral. I just can't.
Return to the deck, please. Star deck.
I just can't get Jaime Escalante out of my mind.
I know. It's just stop. It's so gross. Have you ever made out with somebody you regret making out with them?
Can you introduce me to Philip Michael Thomas? Bob and Lyle.
Hey, hi. Back from Florida.
Yes.
I hated the winters up here, so I left. And anyway, I just want to tell you that you couldn't get better American TV. This is a world stage for everybody. And I think these players should get paid. I think Comey should get money, FBI directors and everything else. I think it would be a great thing.
Yeah.
Because what's the first thing you do in the morning? You want to get up and you want to hear what's going on in the news saga.
Yeah, what happened?
Great.
What happened on Falcon
love
Crest
it.
last night? Yeah, thanks for the call, Bob.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
What was Falcon Crest the spinoff of? Because Knots Landing was a spinoff of Dallas, right? And Falcon Crest is in their Dynasty. Yes. Falcon Crest was a spinoff of Dynasty.
It was?
Yeah, right? What am I looking at, Justin? He wasn't even born.
Yeah, no.
Parents weren't even born for that sake. Today, it's going to be cloudy, as you can see, windy. We're going to have some pretty strong wind gusts until about 9 a.m. this morning. Then it should subside. By this afternoon, some clouds and sun, a high of 75. Tonight, clear, low of 55. And for your weekend, looks spectacular. Saturday, plenty of sunshine for those derby parties. A high of 80 degrees. And on Sunday, it's going to spotty showers, not is warm, a high of just 63 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. That wind is a real factor in the Chicago area with some heavy gusts right now. And Mike Scott said they could reach 50 miles an hour. Be very careful for hauling anything at all. We have a couple of issues going on. One in Antioch with wires down 173 west of Lake Avenue. Also in Antioch, there's a recovery effort at East Loon Lake. Apparently a canoe flipped over there. So rescue crews are at sea. On the south side, there's a closure of Ashland, 44th to south of 45th. There are police-involved shooting this morning. Kennedy runs 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 39. Edens, 22 minutes from Lake Cook to the Kennedy, outbound 27. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to the Circle, outbound 48 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to the Loop. We have delays on the northbound Veterans Memorial from Boughton to almost to the way to Roosevelt, and Army Trail to 290. Southbound 53, so Euclid to Kirchhoff and Gulf to Biesterfield. The ramp to Biesterfield's backed up. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year. The economy is growing. Wages are rising. Americans are feeling better about the future. Unemployment rate down to 3.9% in April. And you've got more money to spend on what's important to you and your priorities. It is your money, after all. But Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want to take your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more of your money you get to keep instead of sending it to D.C., go to taxcutswork.com now. There's an easy-to-use calculator. It will tell you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com and then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. Go to taxcutswork.com because the money you're saving is yours. Go to taxcutswork.com, check your savings, and let Congress know you want to keep your savings.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Tom Goleb, Chief Financial Officer of Navitas Systems, a leader in the next generation of advanced battery technology and a customer of Signature Bank. A few years ago, I heard Signature Bank on an AM 560 radio ad, just as our previous commercial bank was being acquired. I knew Mick O'Rourke and Kevin Bastuga from a prior enterprise. I valued my relationship with them, and the way they worked earned my trust and my business. So I decided to give Signature Bank a call. They took the time to understand our early-stage technology company that has its own set of challenges. Signature Bank took care of us, and now we are satisfied customers.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I'm an inquisitive sort. I want to understand the left, but I have questions. When it comes to your concern that law enforcers not be above the law, is that just for beat cops, or does it extend to senior-level officials at the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency? I ask because I haven't heard the date announced for the Andy McCabe protests. When it comes to treating the Constitution like an Asian buffet, are there limits to the application of the sanctuary designation? I ask because Effingham County, Illinois, voted to make their jurisdiction a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights to protect the rights of their residents to protect themselves. I understand you to be stalwart defenders of a free press now. Could you share your conversion story? I ask because of your silence when Obama Attorney General Eric Holder surveilled and subpoenaed Fox News reporter James Rosen, and when Patrick Fitzgerald imprisoned New York Times reporter Judith Miller in the Scooter Libby case, to cite but just two examples. Thank you in advance for helping me distinguish your virtue from your virtue signaling.
Looking to refinance your existing mortgage and want the lowest rates and lowest closing costs? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Other lenders boast about having low closing costs, which is like me saying I look good in a pair of 32-inch pants. Truth is, other lenders' closing costs are substantially higher than Team Hochberg's closing costs, and I haven't fit into a pair of 32-inch pants in over 40 years. Compare Team Hochberg's closing costs against any other lenders, and if our closing costs aren't lower, I'll donate to Veterans Roasters, an organization who hires homeless veterans to roast coffee, and an organization Team Hochberg already financially supports. When securing a mortgage, you can either work with a lender whose definition of low closing costs are over $1,000 higher than ours, or you can call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
AM 560, The Answer.
Let's tee it up. Let's do this. Let's get her done. We're talking about our 100 Club of Chicago golf outing, which is taking place Thursday, June 14th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Here's the deal. Foursomes are $1,196. You can have a shotgun start at 7:30 or 2:30 in the afternoon. Lunch is included, silent auction, and the proceeds go to the 100 Club of Chicago. But as a way of saying thanks, we will give you 25 one-minute commercials. And that's a huge deal. That's a $3,000 value for only $1,196. Tom Sadeka from Precision Payroll, he started out as a business benefactor. Look where he is today.
It's the biggest shot there is.
Exactly. So call this number, 312-363-6680. 312-363-6680. Even if you have any questions about the business benefactor program, about the golf outing, call the number 312-363-6680. Spaces are filling up quickly, so we need to get this done sooner rather than later, so do it now. 312-363-6680. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
April job numbers are in. We'll pour over them with Scott the Cow Guy, Fox Business contributor at 8:08.
And the reason why the Nobel Prize in Literature has been suspended has something to do with an S word. We'll tell you what really happened. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
We have gusty winds right now, 45 to 50 miles an hour, and a warning from the National Weather Service, and an ATF agent critically wounded, shot on Chicago's south side. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
The new jobs numbers are out.
I'm Chris Foster, Fox News, and the unemployment rate has fallen even lower. Here with the new stats from the Labor Department, Fox's Ginny Casola.
Chris, the number of new jobs created in April was weaker than expected, 164,000. The unemployment rate slipped to 3.9%, the lowest since December of 2000. That also, though, reflects people dropping out of the workforce. Average hourly earnings rose 2.6% from a year ago. That's just a modest increase. The smaller number of jobs created could result in the Federal Reserve raising the interest rates twice this year instead of 3 times. Chris?
Okay, Jenny, thanks. Tens of thousands of gun owners are in Dallas for the National Rifle Association's annual convention. They'll be joined today by the president and vice president. Fox's Evan Brown's at the convention live. Hey, Evan.
Hey, Chris, it's a dreary day here in Dallas, but the heavy downpour is not expected to keep the NRA members away from today's event. Many have traveled from across the nation to be here. This is the same convention where the NRA promised its support for then-candidate Donald Trump, who promised to safeguard Second Amendment rights. While the president is expected to be warmly welcomed here today, some complain he's waffled a bit on that by supporting moves to raise the age to own long guns to 21 in the wake of the Parkland, Florida mass shooting, Chris.
Evan Brown live at the NRA's National Convention in Dallas. The National Guard's activated in Hawaii to help with evacuations and provide security for homes on the side of an erupting volcano. Governor Daniel Ige.
We want people to be safe. So clearly, if you live in the Leilani Estates, you have to evacuate to the emergency shelter at Pahoa Community Center.
There's lava making its way through the forest and bubbling up on some streets. There's nobody reported hurt. An ATF agent shot in the head early this morning in Chicago is in critical condition. There's a manhunt on for the shooter. That agent was working on an investigation with local Chicago police. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Cloudy skies, gusty winds from the southwest at 21 miles an hour, gusting up to 45 miles an hour this hour. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Police tell us a federal agent has been shot, critically wounded in Chicago, working with an investigation tied to local authorities. Chicago Police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi says in a tweet that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives agent was working alongside Chicago officers at the time of the shooting on Chicago's south side around 3:15 this morning. Guglielmi says federal authorities will soon release more information. No arrests have been reported. The office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is without its top deputy. Chicago Tribune first reporting that Assistant State's Attorney Eric Sussman, Fox's number 2, abruptly left his position this week. A family will likely file a lawsuit after Chicago police raided their Southside home this week by mistake. Lawyer for the family says this type of thing is not uncommon.
By no means do I think it's intentional, but I do think there's a very cavalier attitude when you're dealing with some marginalized communities, black communities, poor communities, that it's okay.
Police say detectives were executing a search warrant Wednesday night in the Woodlawn neighborhood when they entered the wrong apartment. Chicago sports, Trace Thompson's home run in the bottom of the ninth was a game winner. White Sox topped the Twins in comeback fashion, 6-5. Cubs open up a 3-game series with the rival Cardinals tonight at Busch. At 8:03, it's time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of turnkey.pro, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, the market is expected to be reacting today to the April employment report. Volkswagen's new CEO, Herbert Diess, is pledging to reform the company's corporate culture, to embrace new technology, and to consider spinning off non-essential businesses. Volkswagen's former chief executive officer is now facing charges in the U.S. Martin Winterkorn is accused of knowing about VW's cheating on diesel emissions, but allowing it to continue. He was charged in federal court in Michigan. Clothing company VF says its jeanswear sales declined in the recent quarter, but business from its outdoor and action sportswear lines rose 19%. It includes Timberland, Lee, Wrangler, The North Face, and others. The Dow was up 5 yesterday. The Nasdaq dropped 12. The S&P down 5. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder says America is focused on the wrong thing. Again.
You know what it's like when you go into a Starbucks and you don't want to buy anything and you want to use the restroom and they tell you have to buy something. It can really ruin your day. And again, I am not saying that it couldn't have been handled differently. I'm not saying that at all. But for crying out loud, talk about making a mountain out of a molehill and the NAACP getting involved with all of these real problems.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
8:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Ashland remains closed back of the yards, 44th south of 45th after that officer-involved shooting. Eden's Expressway looks good inbound at 19 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound, it's 30 minutes. Kennedy, inbound delay started Foster. 59 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 42 from Montrose, 38 in the Express. Outbound, 15 minutes to Montrose, 39 to the airport. Eisenhower, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown. 43 from Manheim. Outbound, 48 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, 40 minutes. Ryan is 35 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 is cleared up. Bishop Ford, 10 minutes worth of delays from the Stony Island feeder to the Ryan. Tri-State southbound heavy 190 to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound 87th to 31st from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams and Reagan Tollways are good. Northbound Veterans Memorial. Delays are from 75th to the Reagan Tollway and Harvey Trail to 290. Southbound 53 Jan. Adams Tollway to Beesterfield with the ramps backed up. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Alex Rabb.
Mostly cloudy to start, followed by decreasing clouds later on today, high 72. Tonight's mainly clear with a low 55. Tomorrow's sunny to partly cloudy with a high of 78. Sunday's cloudy with spotty showers, high of 66. I'm Alex Mack on AM 560, The Answer.
64 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We've established that pretending to be a capitalist hurt Hillary Clinton. And is the practice of mercantilism hurting President Trump. We'll get to the April jobs numbers in just a second, but Amy, in 1930...
Oh, boy, here we go. The year you were born, yeah.
Right. I remember like it was yesterday. More than 1,000 economists penned a letter urging Congress to reject the protectionist Smoot-Hawley tariff. Today, along with the National Taxpayers Union, 1,100 economists around the country, including many Nobel Prize winners in the field of economics.
Oh, my God.
Nobel Prize winner doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, Paul Krugman won one in economics.
Bob Dylan won one for literature last year.
No literature this year because of
a sex scandal. Apparently, the head of the Nobel Prize is having some affair. And
you would think the head of the literature division for the Nobel Prize would have read The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, but apparently not.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, these 1,100 economists have penned a letter to the president saying,
Saying don't do it?
don't advance tariffs, don't advance protectionist trade policies. And the only reason I point this out is because I can tell one of my favorite economist jokes.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
And there's nothing funnier than economist jokes. You
Oh,
know
no.
that.
Well, we'll decide.
You ready?
Yeah, we're all listening, all of your listeners. Yes, go.
Well, it's not really a joke, it's an observation.
Oh.
So,
Ruin it, why don't you?
yeah.
All right, what
in
is it?
typical economist fashion, I've already ruined it. If you laid all the economists in the world end to end, they couldn't reach a conclusion.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that? What
maybe,
do you get
maybe
when
it
you?
was the delivery.
What do you get if you lay 1,100 economists who signed a letter to President Trump about protectionist trade policies and tariffs end to end? No, wait. It would be what
Wow.
don't you get if you?
What don't
if
you get
do
if you
that?
lay them end to end? A conclusion.
A conclusion. All right. For more economics humor, we're pleased to be joined by Scott the Cow Guy, Scott Shalady, Fox Business contributor. Scott, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. We had the same debate yesterday about economists, and what we came up with was basically they were put on Earth to make astrologers look good.
Hey, now that's funny.
Yeah. Well,
Dan, take it from Scott.
He's got better comedic timing than I do. Now, Scott, Scott, you're in London, right, for the addition to the royal family and the whole Meghan Markle thing, and right?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Are you serious?
He's a big Anglophile, Scott Shalady.
Did you get one of the invites?
No, I did not. But
Were you just stalking them then?
But
no, I'm not. You know, I can take it or leave it. I mean, it's a good business. You know, brings in a lot for the country. But other than that, you know, I'm not really that into it.
So it's just a coincidence.
Well, he has the same hairline of that dude that's married to Kate Middleton.
That's
I have no hairline.
Right, precisely. All right, Scott. So the April jobs numbers, unemployment rate down to 3.9%. The U6 rate is still double that. 164,000 jobs created. The job market is getting more competitive, and everything's going well, and wages are going up, and everything's good.
I mean, this is a very Obama-esque report. I mean, the headline's going to be the 3.9% unemployment rate, but guess what? It means absolutely nothing. If we're putting all these people back to work, how are we having average hourly earnings continually disappoint? And they were revised lower last month, and they came in lower than expected this month. That should be, you know, on fire if this was actually the case. So, at the end of the day, there's a leak in the economic system. It's going to be Powell's job, you know, as head of the Fed, to find it. But we're not getting the bang for the buck from, you know, at the back end from everything we've been putting in the front end.
But with these Trump tax cuts, though, I mean, aren't American employers finding reasons to expand their payrolls, hire more people?
Well, the American CEOs have gotten they have more confidence, but that's not coming through in some of these numbers. Number one, there are good economic indicators saying that there's some grassroots growth because of that, but it's going to take 12, maybe even 18 months for these tax cuts really to start showing themselves. So we're not going to get a bump within the first 4 or 5 months from the tax cuts. That's not going to happen. Well, that's going to be something that's going to take a little bit of time. And you know, right now, you know, everybody's feeling good about what's happening, but really, if you look at it and pull this thing over and take a look under the hood, there's not a lot different this year than, say, 4 years ago. So that's the problem.
The new season of Westworld has started, and I'm wondering if you have a robot massacre of humans going on, and that's being underreported, and that somehow explains the ennui in the economy.
Well, the most important number is the labor force participation rate. That's going to get us to where we need to go faster than anything else out there. And when things were okay, we were running it at about 67%. And then when things kind of hit the fan with the financial crisis, it's gone down to between 62 and 63%, and it hasn't budged for a long time. There has been really no difference with Trump than it was with Obama, and again, it went down in this report. So I think we went to 62.8, and we were expecting a 63%, and last month was 62.9. So we're not doing very good there either, and that's going to be a big one that really the media doesn't talk about. We need to put these people back to work because that's going to impact productivity faster than anything else. and it's just not budging. So we do have a leak. The equities are high here. We're getting a little bit more nervous, and the reason why we're nervous and the reason why we're volatile is because we've got high asset or high equity valuations, or at least too high for the volatility we have in the market with Trump being president and where interest rates are. So we're in a pretty dicey territory right now, and that's why I think you've seen all the volatility.
Trump is delaying the EU tariffs, on steel for 30 days. Do you think that might become permanent, or what do you see the future of that?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. I mean, right now it's hard for Europe to plan because they're on month to month with Trump on whether he's going to, extend the exemptions. I ultimately think that they won't be. Right now they're caught in the crosshairs, but I don't think they will be altogether. And at the end of the day, they are collateral damage with what Trump's trying to do with China, and I keep getting questioned about this all the time. At the end of the day, we are not in a trade war. We are in a trade war, but it started a long time ago, and there has to be something done. And so he's going to have to do some things that are going to be a little bit uncomfortable in the short term to get what he needs to be done in the long term. And I think right now Europe is part of that collateral damage, but ultimately I think it'll be okay for them.
So over the past year, we've seen interest rates on 30-year fixed mortgages jump about a percentage point. Where is that going, particularly in the context of the Fed's stronger view on inflation?
Well, I mean, boy, shouldn't we have a lot more inflation than we do now with 3.9% unemployment rate? I mean, it's just not really happening. And what we've seen happen with that 10-year rate you talk about, it got close to 3%, actually just got over 3%. But what really is more compelling is how the movement in the shorter dated, or at least the closer interest rate cycles have been. So 1-year interest rates and 2-year versus 10-year interest rates have really outperformed. And so we're seeing money leave the stock market to go into government-backed guaranteed paper that's yielding, say, 2.5%, because you don't have to worry about losing money on your stock. These dividend plays that all these people buy these stocks to get the dividends from, they're moving out of that stuff and going into short-term government paper. So there's a big shift going there, and I just think that this equity market is just so dangerous right now just because of all the outliers out there, and this is another one of those big ones.
So dangerous in the sense that you see the prospect of a significant correction in the not-too-distant future?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to – I was on a show 2 days ago, and the guy before me talked about a 30 to 40% correction. Clearly, he's short, okay? So I don't subscribe to that thought, but I definitely think that we've done so much work, and the economy really hasn't given us the numbers that come in and support where we are right now. There's been a lot of feel-good factor, but we haven't had a lot of real fundamental factor that is that would justify these levels. So now we have these high equity prices. These valuations are very high, but they're too high for where interest rates are because they're a lot higher than they used to be, and where volatility is because it's a lot higher than it used to be. So you're going to have to see these equity prices back off a little bit just to kind of take cover and give themselves some defensive posture, because things have changed, and two of the biggest ones are that we've got a lot of volatility and interest rates have ticked higher.
What's going on at the gas pumps? I mean, I'm getting more money back in the paycheck, but then when you go to fill up your car with gas, I mean, they're jumping 5-10 cents a day per gallon.
Well, we had some geopolitical issues with Syria, and then also OPEC has been, threatening. Here's the deal. That's a great point, Amy, because a lot of investors out there aren't sure what the U.S. economy is going to look like with what I call the battle of the threes. We've got a 10%, a 10-year Treasury bond with a yield of 3%, and we've also got $3 a gallon gas. What does the American economy look like with those two things at those levels? Because that's really relatively high, or at least a lot higher than we've had them in the near past. That's going to be something that also could slow down any of Trump's ideas of growth. So keep an eye on the threes, 3% in the 10-year and $3 a gallon gas. That could be also something that really puts a black cloud on some of these plans.
I want to talk about my favorite futurist / welfare queen, Elon Musk, had a bit of a core meltdown on an earnings call the other day, and is the kind of losing $2 billion a clip starting to get to good old Elon?
Well, I mean, he's been at the government ATM to keep things going for a long time. Without the government, I think we'd all agree that he wouldn't really have a firm, number one. And if you look at in Europe, when they've taken away those subsidies for folks to buy those electric cars, the sales have gone down by 80%. So I mean, I have a bigger question, right? Where's the demand for all these electric cars coming from? I mean, yeah, maybe if gas goes to $5 a gallon, I can see that. But if you've got fossil fuels at $2.50 to $3 a gallon, it's going to be hard for me to really see these things. I mean, I don't see a ton of demand. Look, Ford's getting out of the car business to only build trucks.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, so I don't know where Musk is on this, but number one, he has to have the government in his corner, and we're going to have to see these people really, hate fossil fuels. And right now, we have so much of it. I really don't see oil taking off. So if you keep gas at $2 to $3 a gallon, I think electric cars are going to struggle.
He is Scott Shalady, Scott the Cow Guy, Fox Business contributor. Scott, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. And you too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you change your password on Twitter yet? They're urging all 330 million people who are on Twitter to change it.
Same as the password on my luggage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exclamation point. Forecast for today, cloudy start, a windy start. And we're going to have a high in the mid-70s, I do believe. I think so, yes. And then tonight, clear, a low of 55. Your weekend looks great. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, a high of 82. On Sunday, some spotty rain. Colder, a high of just 63 degrees, so a big difference there. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. The Indiana Toll Road has issued a wind ban affecting the area from Valparaiso east to the Ohio line until 3 this afternoon. This affects high-profile, oversized loads, long, double, triple trailers. The Edens Expressway is fine inbound. Outbound delays extend to Toohey, 30 minutes, Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy, now O'Hare to downtown, 42 minutes from Montrose, 38 the Express, outbound 39 to the airport. Eisenhower, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 45. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to the drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to the loop. Tri-State southbound, slow Toohey to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound, 83rd Street toll to the Mile Long Bridge, the Stevenson to 31st. In pockets from the Reagan toll at Lawrence. Delays on southbound 53 from the Adams Tollway to Beesterfield. There's a ramp jam. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Dan Proft, I'm excited to tell you about the Dangerous Camp for Boys and more than 20 other summer day camps from Northridge Prep. What's Dangerous Camp? It's a camp designed to get your boys off their iPads, iPhones, and video games this summer. It's dangerously fun, not unsafe. They throw water balloons, play games, and learn the meaning of outdoor adventure. As a listener to the morning show, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep, the all-boys school in Niles that instills the traditional values you hold as parents. Their summer programs for boys grades 1 through 8 combine fun, adventure, and character growth. You won't find camps like this anywhere else. A few camps caught my eye, like basketball camps led by a former NCAA D1 coach, Will Ray, and varsity players. Battle of the Civil War, Bugs and Botany, Intro to Musical Improv, even a robotics camp where campers learn to build, pilot, and code their own robots. Get your son off the couch and into the outdoors. You can learn more about these camps and register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. And I recommend it to everybody.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I want to tell you about a tremendous offer from my friends at Roland's Jewelers. You know, Roland's Jewelers is in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is celebrating their newly designed showroom. They have a grand reopening Friday, May 4th. Now, Roland's is offering huge savings on designer brands like incredible brands, Simon G. Simon G believes everything you wear should reflect who you are. From classic to unique designs, Simon G just captures your own unique style. At Roland's, experience the elegant Simon G boutique featuring beautiful engagement rings, stunning diamond fashion jewelry. I want you to take advantage of huge savings at Roland's re-grand opening sale Friday, May 4th. Hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, free jewelry. It's a night you won't want to miss. I'm a proud customer. I wear a beautiful Shinola watch from Roland's. Mother's Day coming soon. Trust Roland's Jewelry. Downtown Libertyville. Go to RolandsJewelers.com. ROLLANDS. Roland's Jewelers. A family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560, The
Answer. Dan and Amy, a lot of stress for young people making their way through school. Right? You talked about it with the entrance exams to CPS high schools.
Yes, high school shopping is not fun.
Of course, we're coming down to the end of the year, the school year, and so
we
finals.
We just learned from CPS that we have an extra day of school now. They just emailed us out saying school is not over the 17th. CPS school is now ending the 18th. Well, just in case you care.
It gives them time with the excess money they're not using to educate children to install cry closets.
The who?
The cry closets.
Cry closets?
Cry.
We have a buddy bench now.
Do you?
If you feel lonely or you're getting bullied, you go sit on the bench.
Well, that should be situated right next to the cry closet. This was developed by a University of Utah, the Utes, student and visual artist Nemo Miller. The closet, outfitted with black felt, stuffed animals, and a strict 10-minute cry policy, is a self-described safe space for stressed-out students to have a breakdown in the privacy of a large wooden box.
I'd have a breakdown if I was placed in a large wooden box.
I would think.
Get me out of here!
Does that sound like they're putting dirt over me? Yeah. Besides the 10-minute...
Am I being lowered into the ground?
Yeah, besides the 10-minute limit, the cry closet's other rules stipulate that students knock before entering to ensure no one's stress-inducing bawling session is interrupted. This person describing the cry closet, Rachel Hampton, who's one of these mopes that writes for Slate, offers her view on it. Hypocrisy aside, I happen to think the cry closet is a great idea. It should be celebrated and replicated across the country. There's unfortunately a popular misconception that being a mature adult means taking all of life's gut punches with stoic silence and a stiff upper lip. That's not realistic. Life is hard, and crying is both a completely natural reaction to stress and a way to reduce it, which is why I cry myself to sleep each evening, Amy.
Well, do you cry?
I had my tear ducts removed as a young man.
When was the last time you cried? Or is that too personal? Is this getting uncomfortable?
Shedding tears, hormone-infused tears, reduces the levels of stress hormones in the body, which could then reduce stress. There's also research suggests, in addition to acting as a way to self-soothe, crying releases oxytocin and endorphins, both chemicals that help ease physical and emotional pain. Thus, the have a good cry.
Oh.
Shibboleth.
Good crying is cathartic, though.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
I don't need to do it in a wooden box. I'll just do it in my car.
What about endowing the Amy Jacobson Cry Room at Blaine?
going to happen. I do like the buddy bench. And hey, grab a buddy and come to our 100 Club of Chicago golf outing. It takes place Thursday, June 14th, don't you know, at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Here's the deal. A foursome is $1,196. What do you get for that, Dan? Come on.
You get
Pony up.
You get 4 golfers.
And
you get 25 60-second commercials to promote your business.
What's your business?
On AM 560, commercials run primetime hours, and they will be voiced by Amy.
No, or Dan or Joe Walsh or somebody in the company, or you can do it yourself. But it's really a great way to take your business to the next level. If you've thought about ever advertising on radio or television or newsprint, this is the time to do it because it's a $3,000 value. We're giving it to you for $1,196. What could go wrong? Call this number, 312-363-6680. 312-363-6680. Sign up for the 7:30 morning shotgun start or the 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon shotgun start. We've got a luncheon, a silent auction. Dan will be there wearing his finest mankini and golf cleats. And it's going to be great. So call this number, 312.
That's weird.
I don't want to see that mankini. You brought it to Mexico. 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to the Federalist.com's David Harsanyi about all kinds of things. The swirl around Trump and well, since we're on the topic, the end of the school year and commencement speakers. Those are always a treat. That's at 8:38.
And we'll get the latest on the ATF agent who was shot in Chicago early this morning. We now go into the newsroom. With that new information, here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We have 62 degrees, very gusty winds at 21 miles an hour out of the southwest, and a wind advisory through 9 a.m. with gusts up to 45 miles an hour or so. Police say a federal agent has been shot and critically wounded in Chicago, working on an investigation with local authorities. Chicago Police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi says in a tweet that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives agent was working with Chicago officers in the field at the time of the shooting around 3:15 this morning. Hawaii's National Guard has been activated. Evacuations ordered as lava continues to flow from its most active volcano, Kilauea, on the Big Island. The nation's unemployment rate, the lowest in more than 17 years. The Labor Department reporting this morning the unemployment rate for April was 3.9%. Special counsel Robert Mueller is requesting 70 blank subpoenas as he prepares to try President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort. Manafort is scheduled to go on trial in July. President Trump scheduled to address the NRA's annual convention in Dallas today. Big news in baseball. Yankees and Red Sox will meet across the pond next June for 2 ball games in London at Olympic Stadium. Chicago police are looking for the man who pushed a woman onto the CTA Blue Line tracks on the Northwest Side this week. And if you bought ground beef from Kroger, you'll want to check your refrigerator. Illinois is among the states included in a large beef recall from Kroger stores. White Sox topped the Twins 6-5 in comeback fashion last night. Cubs are at the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. The news, a service of Staples. Staples knows running out of ink is no way to do business. Help your business keep your business working and your printers printing. Go to Staples for a huge selection of ink and toner and find your ink in stock every time and at a low price every day, so you can meet every deadline. Staples, it's pro time. 8:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks the Democrats are scrambling.
This is so crazy. The left is in such a frenzy. The DNC lawsuit suing WikiLeaks and the Trump campaign. Oh, yeah, Russia. Sue Russia, because that'll work. It's nuts. We are in Crazyville.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, and here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The northbound tri-state is a big jam from the Stevenson to 31st Street this morning. Then farther north it's slow from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue and from the O'Hare Oasis to Lawrence. On Veterans Memorial, little tight Maple to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways have cleared up, and so has 53. Edens is fine inbound, but outbound it's 30 minutes, Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy inbound delays start at Montrose. 59 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 49 from Montrose, just 30 in the express. Outbound, 17 minutes to Montrose and 31 to the airport. Got Eisenhower at St. Charles crash in the left lane. It's an hour, 390 to downtown, 42 minutes from Manheim, outbound 45 to 390. Stevenson, 59 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive delays, southbound Wilson to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Clouds and sun this morning, very windy through 9 a.m. A wind advisory is up, and then clouds break for sun in the afternoon. Winds begin to calm, and a high of 75. Currently 63 degrees. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and picking up on that cry room matter,
Yeah.
Amy, at the collegiate level. Something else at the collegiate level is
collegiate level. I mean, that is sick.
the cry room?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, man up or woman up, and just when you feel like crying, go cry somewhere. You don't need a cry room.
We don't
drawing an attention to. If you know what that is, it's a cry for help.
We don't,
because if somebody sees you walk in there, they'll think maybe I can help out.
The days of us raising boys to be men with chests are over. I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm sending my kids to St. John's Northwestern Military Academy summer camp.
There you go.
And they get to wear. Oh, I'm so happy! I can't wait. I hope they get pushed around. Not pushed around, but I mean, just fall in line. Get
toughened up.
Yelled up. Toughened up. That's what I meant to say, Dan.
Yeah.
Make them men. Get them off their computers.
Sure.
Get them off their cell phones and get out into nature.
They can't go to the Scouts anymore.
No.
Because there is no more Boy Scouts. Also, maybe Peyton and Eli will run the gauntlet and be in the select group of male college graduates. I know we don't play identity politics, but since the other side does, it'd be fun to hear their explanation for this and what should be done where the number's reversed. But our friend over at Carpe Diem, Mark Perry, economics professor at the University of Michigan, has been tracking this for a while, points out that the class of 2018, college graduates, for associate degrees, 6139 women, bachelor's degrees, 5743 women, Master's degrees, 59.41 women. Doctoral degrees, 53.47 women. All degrees, 59.41, basically. So 60-40 female versus male. If those numbers were reversed, this would be like a national crisis, wouldn't it? What are we going to do about elevating women in higher education? But 3-2, female to male, and there's no problem. So is gender distribution an issue when it comes to higher education or education generally, or should it be performance based? I mean, I don't like, let's just say, law school. This like all these, this despite what Sandra Day O'Connor said in the Michigan law school case, I don't care if my entire graduating class at Northwestern was 100% black women, 100% Inuit Eskimos. It should be based on performance, right?
Right.
But that's not what we do everywhere else, except if it's a protected group or a group aspiring for protected status that is the one underperforming. Thus, even despite these numbers, what's the real push when it comes to anything viewed through the gender prism in education? STEM for girls, right? Because girls' scores when it comes to math
and science,
and by extension, engineering and are lower than boys. It's just interesting to note. For more interesting things to know, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend David Harsanyi, who is nationally syndicated columnist, and he also is a senior editor at The Federalist, thefederalist.com, author of First Freedom, A Ride Through America's Enduring History with the Gun, From the Revolution to Today. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, switching gears from our little foray into higher ed there, President Trump and Rudy Giuliani reunited from the campaign, and it feels so good this week.
I don't know if it feels good. It feels weird and sort of, how would I say this, unplanned, a little bit of anarchy going on, it seems to me. But we'll see how it turns out.
Well, here's the thing. Let's hear what Alan Dershowitz had to say on MSNBC yesterday before we get to kind of Trump and some of these self-inflicted wounds in Trump world. What about some of the issues of the left when it comes to embracing the police power of the state? Dershowitz made this point.
If men were angels, as Madison wrote, we wouldn't need a constitution. We need a constitution because we as Americans don't trust authority. And we as liberal Democrats used to not trust law enforcement. Now it's the conservative Republicans that don't trust law enforcement and the liberal Democrats that are all saying, we trust law enforcement completely. The statutes are in place. The rules are in place. These rules are only as good as the people who enforce them and only as good as the motives of the people who are behind them. And I have to tell you, I do not trust the government. I do not trust judges. I do not trust prosecutors when they are zealously seeking to go after a particular target, in this case, Donald Trump.
Does the professor have a point, David?
Of course he has a point. I mean, I'm no Donald Trump fan, but it's clear to me that there's abuse of power going on here. I mean, the other day I wrote about the FBI and the Justice Department, which simply refuses to hand over documents that are being asked for in an investigation by Congress, which has the authority of oversight. When it comes to the FBI, and they simply refuse to do it. They refuse to do it because it makes the FBI look bad, and that's a political consideration. It is not. For months we were hearing. For a year and a half we've been hearing about how we need transparency. For a year and a half we've been, being hit with partisan leaks over and over again that don't give the full picture of what's been going on. And now all of a sudden, Democrats are worried about the sanctity of criminal investigation. They don't want any information. Congress has the power to do that, and all of a sudden we treat the FBI and Bob Mueller and all these people as if they're independent and should have no oversight. That's not how it works. So,
well, and just one of the interesting things to add to that, I mean, sort of a remarkable op-ed in The Hill concerning the source. Mark Penn, a Hillary Clinton former campaign strategist, saying Rod Rosenstein's not above the law. Sessions should call Rosenstein in and demand that he comply fully with the subpoenas or fire him and replace him with someone who will fairly oversee the Russia investigation and who will comply with the lawful orders of Congress. That's Mark Penn echoing Rudy Giuliani and you.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, the idea that we should not see. First of all, he has never explained why these redacted documents need to be redacted. I mean, if there's a legitimate reason in an ongoing criminal investigation that you don't want to, whatever the reason is, you have a right not to hand over everything to Congress. I mean, you're talking about co-equal branches of government, but here you're talking, everyone. Democrats act as if the president would be completely out of line, would be Hitler if he fired, the deputy attorney general. He's a subordinate. He works for the president. That's how the Constitution doesn't simply change because we don't like Donald Trump. And it's getting to the point where you're having sort of a coup. I'm not saying it's a military coup, but you have law enforcement simply ignoring their superiors, and that's, I think, a problem because it creates precedents that would be a huge problem.
All right. What about this latest incident that keeps percolating? Rudy Giuliani on with Sean Hannity. Whether President Trump knew where the money was going and for what? Do you think he violated campaign finance laws? Because the payment seems to me that it was motivated by the 2016 election because she was paid off 16 days before the election.
Well, I'm of two minds. I do think Donald Trump knew the basics of this, and I'd be surprised if this is the only one, frankly. On the other hand, I just can't believe there are laws in this country that sort of where the government has to bore into your soul and know what your intent was and why you're paying someone money or not paying someone money. I mean, I just don't know if this sort of case holds up. And let's say he did it. It's what is it, $130,000? Is that an impeachable offense now? I don't know. So I don't know enough about campaign finance law because I think it's sort of arbitrary anyway. To know how big a deal this is or isn't, but it seems implausible to me that Donald Trump wouldn't have known what was going on, considering how close he was with the lawyer.
And sometimes, I mean, I'm not a ends justify the means guy, but there is this sort of, I don't know, aura around Trump that he seems to be able to cut through and get results on a number of fronts simultaneously amid personal and professional chaos. Now that's political chaos too, but the developments both with North and South Korea, and I don't want to overstate them. I understand we should be skeptical of the North Koreans, but it's still a development. And then with the Iranian nuclear deal, given what Bibi Netanyahu unveiled this week, I mean, these are remarkable developments on two important and, up until this point, seemingly intractable fronts.
It's like we're living in parallel worlds where there's the home front where, Donald Trump's presidency seems to be anarchy. And then in another way, it seems to be pretty productive and things seem to be going rather well. I mean, not well, but, productive. So meaning the world is not automatically a better place simply because we start talking to North Korea or because we have to undo the Iran deal, though I think we're headed in the right direction. The thing with the anarchy of the Trump administration is, of course, some of it, or maybe most of it, is brought on by their own actions. But the other part of that is that the news media, or most mainstream media, they get hysterical about every little thing that goes on and have a heart attack over every little thing that happens and blow up stories that are ridiculous. So it seems more crazy than maybe it is, at least to people. And I think what happens is they tune out, and even when serious things pop up, they don't pay the sort of attention they should. But certainly I think if the North Korean thing had happened under the Obama administration, we'd be having a very different discussion about it right now.
Maybe if
what would that discussion be?
Well, maybe maybe
how wonderful Saint Obama is.
Yeah, right. And maybe CNN would give Trump a little bit more breathing room if he could just find MH370.
That would help.
You know, I mean, I think Don Lemon would have to. I mean, is it still too soon to make an MH370 joke? Okay.
Just don't know where it went.
Well, I understand it could have been swallowed up by a black hole, according to Don Lemon, and the Earth could have collapsed in upon itself. I get it. These are very serious people that we're supposed to take very seriously on the news channels. I get that. Just going back, David, to Rosenstein and Mueller, the report out yesterday that Mueller is now fixated on Roger Stone and his relationship with Rick Gates, who is Paul Manafort's business partner. And do you get the sense that Mueller is keeping up appearances with respect to Russian collusion while he's actually just pursuing the obstruction of justice charge, or that there are still some unanswered questions that could be interesting based on the questions that were leaked earlier in the week and then this latest report on who Mueller is focusing upon?
Well, I don't know about the second half of that, but the first part of the questions that Mueller asked, if they are indeed the questions, it tells us that, he's pursuing obstruction of justice charges, because I think there's really just one question related to so-called collusion in there, which I still don't exactly understand. And if Roger Stone, who's completely nuts, basically, is the person we're going to hinge that everything hinges on now. Don't get me wrong; it's wrong of Donald Trump to bring in that sort of person to start with. Roger Stone makes up a lot. Roger Stone is a weird guy. He says a lot of things that probably aren't exactly true. So I don't know. I mean, is that really the path we're going down? Because to me, that means that there's really not much there.
He is, David.
But who knows? I mean, we never know, right?
Right. That's true. There's no question about that. You never know what's coming next. Stay tuned for the next exciting episode. David Harsanyi, nationally syndicated columnist, senior editor for TheFederalist.com, author of the book First Freedom: A Ride Through America's Enduring History with the Gun from the Revolution to Today. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560. The Answer.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
You know I love MyPillow, but here's the answer for the rest of your body. It's the MyPillow mattress topper. It keeps your entire body comfy and cozy with 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night long. Not too cold or hot. For May, get 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, plus 2 free standard MyPillows with your mattress topper purchase. You heard right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. You get the same 10-year warranty on your mattress topper and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now and grab this great deal and others, including 30% off pet beds. I love mine. You should get one for Hayek. 30% off sheets and much more. And yes, you can still get the 4-pack deal in May. So call this number, 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com. Promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. he said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on 5 to 6 different antidepressants. And even when they did work, and there was that underlying feeling of depression, and it would never go away. Just call one of the treatment centers and just talk to the psychiatrist or doctor, and you'll be on your way. I'm Christy. I'm a wife and a mother and a real estate broker, and I no longer suffer from depression.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
You've heard us say if your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
Also, if your gutters, siding, windows, or entry door is needy,
call Crumweedy.
What's that all about?
This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy.
We created a special deal just for you. Replace your roof and receive free gutters. Or replace the siding or windows on your home and receive a free entry door.
We'll do a great job, and you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that is up to manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is intact.
And get free gutters or an entry door as a thank you. Some restrictions apply, and this special won't last long.
We fix roof, siding, and window problems. We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you. If your home is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So did you hear about this lady? This young lady, she's fairly young. She's 38 years old, and she kept gaining weight. She gained 10 pounds a week for kind of like you, for 4 weeks in a row. She didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, she has a 132-pound tumor on her left over. Did you see this?
It can sneak up on you.
Oh, yes. Well, she finally went to the doctor. I mean, her ankles were so unbelievably swollen because this thing was crushing her intestines and her veins.
Mm-hmm.
So she was.
So that's how she found out about it? Her ankles were swollen?
She couldn't even see her ankles. Have you seen this picture? It's one of the top 10 biggest tumors ever removed on a person.
What number that come in at?
Well, the largest ovarian tumor ever removed on a human being weighed 303 pounds.
Wow.
Kind of the Chris Christie category. She
That's
had a bit of a
tumor.
J.B. Pritzker tumor. And it took them 15 hours, 12 surgeons to remove this. They did have to remove her left ovary and her left fallopian tube, but they left her right ovaries and in her right fallopian tube in case she ever wants to have children.
Or grow another one.
Stop it.
And this time, really commit to it. 132 pounds, that's not a tumor.
Treat yourself to
300
that
pounds,
picture.
that's a tumor.
You have to see this picture of this woman's ovarian tumor, but hopefully she'll be okay. So far, so good.
That's what I like to do on the weekends, look at pictures of ovarian tumors.
I got a job following fat people around with a tuba.
It's a tuba. Tumor, not tuba.
Cut it out.
It's
I have a glandular problem.
Do you think J.B. Pritzker has an ovarian tumor? Could that explain it?
Oh, we don't. All right, golf outing is not this Thursday. Is Thursday, June 14th. Sign your foursome up. Become a business benefactor. Help the 100 Club of Chicago. Call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680. Proceeds, again, go to the 100 Club. We'll give you commercials. You're going to want to do this. It's a fun day of golf. 312-363-6680. Thanks so much for making us part of your mornings. Have a safe, happy, and healthy weekend. We're back here Monday morning, 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
An ATF agent critically wounded in a shooting on Chicago's South Side. A top deputy to Kim Foxx abruptly leaves. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.